an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit OStreetCarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
It seems like just the other day, I was building my first house. I've seen many changes to our building market in Lincoln. It's been a fun road.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, we hear this a lot where I don't want to live in a cookie cutter home. Well, let's come up with some answers on what we're going to build, where we're going to build it, and what it's going to cost. One thing that we started doing early on was we started building neighborhoods. I'm a firm believer in character in your street and in your neighborhood. I like choice. I like variation. I like maybe something a little bit different in a neighborhood that you don't see in every neighborhood. I think it's great to have choices, its uniqueness, and I think that's what gives a neighborhood character. And I think that's what we've done over the years.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Salt Mine City is your go-to brewery in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their Big Fatty 7-ounce hamburger or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Oerman. Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Oh, welcome to it. It's Old School on The Ticket. Austin Oerman with you. Jay Foreman on his way. That means sitting across from me, Boss Man DP, back from Chicago. Welcome back, DP. How are you?
I'm glad to be. It's funny now in traffic that when you travel that you have to say, "I'm glad to be where I intended to be." It wasn't when I was supposed to be, or how I was supposed to be. Sometimes you get distracted and rerouted and all that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. 3 hours of delays and other extraordinary, but I made it back in time. So I had to cancel meetings on the fly, and but I'm here. So let's do it.
Let's do it indeed. You were telling me all about your fun at O'Hare Airport or something like that.
Oh.
Flown through that airport many times. My last experience in O'Hare was the most unique experience I've had there, because I was on the same flight from Vegas to O'Hare, sitting a row behind and across from DJ Carstensen, who I had a nice little 5-minute conversation with waiting in line for McDonald's for breakfast at O'Hare back in April.
See, this is the part so they're on this particular flight. Of course, that's the connector flight coming back to Lincoln. And there are tons of, for whatever reason, a lot of the new international students and student athletes were on this flight. So there's an enrollment waiting for them at Lincoln Airport when they get back. Japan, Finland, Germany, amongst the places, right? So people are starting to gather, and you could kind of tell that they were, and there were a few interpreters as well. So there's that going on. But yeah, I had to coffee my way out of anger and frustration for the last 30 minutes. It just didn't make sense. None of it made sense. I've never experienced I've experienced some bad travel. Today was bad for no reason. Like if there's a storm and you're just kind of, waiting for it. But there was a storm in Chicago overnight. So last night and this morning. So 6 a.m. Now it was projected that storm was going to go all the way through 5 o'clock today. But when I got up this morning, it had stopped raining, but it had just thrown everything into turmoil. And I knew last night, I talked to Becky. I'm like, okay, looks like, they're United sending me those texts, hey, you might want to consider changing your flight. You might, storms, there'll be chaos. And then we kind of have a rule, just ride it out, right? Just ride it out. Let it be what it's going to be. Because if you make changes, then especially if you go later, if they start pushing things back, you just go further back in the queue.
Then your crew runs out of hours, and then it's tomorrow already.
It's 11 o'clock. Like literally, I could have flown the next 2 flights and still not gotten in until 11 o'clock because you would have had to go to Denver and then hope that everything was okay there. So you're going to send me from one connector to another connector?
Please no.
Yeah, like
not doing it.
What kind of special new
But on the flip side, all for the same price. So
more
flights, more snacks.
Hey, more
people watching.
But the snacks, okay, United, can I say this to y'all? Do better with the snacks.
What did you go with? Did you do the pretzels?
So they give you we had 3 options, right?
Yep.
And out of frustration, I'm just like, whatever. Like whatever's the first thing in her hand is what I was going to do. And I had not eaten because I literally spent the day running from the B terminal to the F terminal to the E terminal, only to find out that the actual E1 doesn't sit in the E terminal, and you had to go to the help desk where there's a chaplain sitting there waiting for you. And there's a line of people, and you get up to him and you go, excuse me, E1? And he goes, you're correct. You're the winner. He goes, they should give you a free ticket just for finding E1. Because he goes, we answer that question so often and we feel frustrated. And it's literally at a corner next to a restaurant. Like there's zero chance. And so running back and forth, and then they sprint you to the gate, and then, okay, you have 10 minutes, right, to check in, except, of course, it's United today. 10 minutes is an hour later, and you could have gone and gotten something to eat. You didn't. I'm surviving on a cup of coffee and a water until, said pretzels. And then, I get here, and I was like, I really should eat. Of course not. Of course not. You got to look at pressers and, look at email and text messages from all over the weekend. And it was a fantastic weekend. I had texts from several Huskers that I ran into this weekend in Chicago. I got to see Casey Rogers, Samori Toure last night, the Bills and Bears in that Bears beatdown. That should be their new phrase. They yell bear down at a go big red frequency. And now it's just last night it was bear beatdown because the Bills no-showed. They no-showed, and it was tough.
Is that a harbinger of things to come? Are the Bears really that much better than the Bills this year? Are we making that assumption now?
Oh, no. No, there's zero. Listen, I was with some Bears fans, And no.
Caleb Williams,
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes. It's all coming together for the
Right.
Bears.
It looks alike, right? We got a light-skinned quarterback. That's all we need. Yeah, no, it was so Josh Allen didn't play. Caleb did. Caleb got 3 series in. Of course, it was the national TV game. Mind you, have you been to Soldier Field? Have you been to the new Soldier Field?
I have not.
Okay.
I'm waiting until they go to Arlington Heights, Kevin Warren's favorite place on earth.
Okay, but let me say this. Go to the current Soldier Field before they go to Arlington Heights. I went to the old Soldier Field. No.
Not doing it?
The pageantry and the ghost, right? The ghost of the building is why you go. And then Chicago downtown and all the great, especially at night game. They only open their gates 90 minutes before kickoff, which is a little. I don't know why people would only do 90 minutes.
Because what, 2 hours is standard typically?
Well, do the 3 hours. Like, why would you not want people in the building spending money? Like, it's all the marketing you and I talk about on a regular basis.
Yeah.
That if you have people standing in line 3 hours before kickoff, take their money. Like, take their money. Go, let them go to work. But it was a great parking situation.
Okay.
Literally connected to the stadium.
Wow.
If you ever go to Soldier Field, park in North Garage. Just from me to you, all love.
Okay.
Perfect. Chef's kiss. Walk around the corner, long wait, line was there, Bears fans, Bills fans. The stadium was much more aesthetically cool than I thought it would be. Much more. And a packed house for a preseason game.
All right, the Bears. All right.
Like that part. Like I'm
the Bears?
Like top of the stadium packed. I was like, did I not get the memo? Did I miss? Maybe there's the expectation that the Bears are going to be exceptional, right? Like I'm texting Nick Sanders and Harrison, like, did you guys forget to tell me that Bear Nation is really buying in? Did I not get this? And then exceptional. I mean, they played well. Great night, 75 degrees.
Woo.
Right?
Woo.
Wind off the lakes, right?
Nice.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
give me all the feels, Soldier Field. Give me all of it. Great game for the Bears. They could have put up 50 if they so chose. They couple of opportunities they called off the dogs against the Bills backups. But surprisingly pleasant experience. Better food than I expected.
What'd you go with?
If you're in Chicago, you got to do it. You got to do a dog pizza. You have to do the pizza. Their pizza is, and case in point. So it's kind of like the Valentino's here. It's kind of tied into the experience. But I met the owner, and they were also connected to the UFC event that I was at, and they hand delivered pies to USC media. We each got our own pie to go, except Austin, pie 1, DP 0. Oh man, I called Becky. I called Becky. I went, oh no. Like I skipped a Cubs game because of the pizza.
Ben on our text line says Bears fans are the biggest idiots out there. Source, me. I'm a Bears fan. I'm an idiot. We drink the Kool-Aid every offseason.
It was very Nebraska-esque in the vibe.
Oh, and this is the same Ben who asked about the flag football coaching.
Yeah.
Fifth graders.
Yeah.
He says, here's how it started. It was 97 degrees when the game started. Had my kids run hurry up, no huddle, ran the opposing defense into the dirt.
Get him.
There we go, Ben.
Get him. Get him. Yeah, it was like you forget how, I mean, Chicago is a lore. It's a vibe. You walk in and it's Frank Sinatra singing, Chicago is, my kind of town. And, there's legitimate, authentic Italian pie, being made on site for you.
Within arm's reach.
Right. Real Polish sausage, right? We're not giving you that nonsense. We're going to do that for you. I also went, it was a full few days. I went, Kyle Perry, of course, our buddy, from Husker Baseball and Uncut here on the ticket. is with the Savannah Bananas, and I got to experience that Friday night at the White Sox Stadium, guaranteed rate feel. I'm going to say a thing that's going to upset some people.
It's better than Wrigley? Is that what you're going to say?
Sir.
You going to say that?
Sir. I was at both on the same day. Cubs in the afternoon, Savannah Bananas at night. It wasn't close. It wasn't close.
Is that the stadium itself, or is that the vibe? Because the Cubs now are...
It's the people.
Well, the Bananas crowd is different than a Cubs crowd. It's baseball, but those are two different types of baseball.
Oh, the Bananas, those are my people.
How close did you come to catching a foul ball for an out?
Oh, so shout out Kyle Perry. I'm on the dugout.
Aha.
So the net's there, but literally I'm on TV as much as the hitters. So anytime a right-handed hitter was up, there's DP. Right. And I'm trying to be careful, right? You don't want to get caught taking a bite of a hot dog on national TV. Right. Like, good move, DP. That's a good look. Well, that'll be a meme. But being that close for the Bananas is not the same as being that close for the White Sox. Because being that close with Bananas, you're a part of the show. Like, you're going to be a part of the show. And their opponents that night were the firefighters.
Okay.
Well, the Bananas do an exceptional job of marketing. There's something for everybody. And for the ladies and for some of the men, they had like firefighters from the calendar, the sexy calendar, and they're on top of the dugout every other inning, topless, gyrating. And like, what do you do as a dude? Like, you're just sitting there going, man, look over there.
Oh, would you look at the time? Would you look at the time? Interesting.
Look at that was one heck of a play.
Hi, honey. Yeah, I'm still at the game. How's it going with you?
Because there's this 6'2", 215-pound set of abs just gyrating, and you're like, hey, and there's a lady next to me who has, her and her daughter are just having the time of their lives. And I don't want to be killjoy, right? Like, get away from me. But exceptional. I didn't know Kyle Perry had moves like that. Shout out Elkhorn. Well done, Kyle. Kyle came up before and after the game, and he signed autographs and took pictures for an hour after the game. An hour straight of just a line where people working at the stadium like, oh, you got to go. You got to go. So I was proud of him. Part of that journey. The Cubs that afternoon did get the Cub dog, Wrigleyville dog. And as Brian Urlacher proudly professes in a video, if you're going to have a hot dog in Chicago, it's with mustard. Ketchup is for kids. And it was the first standing ovation of the day. Like, attaboy, Urlacher. Attaboy. Attaboy. So there was that. And then UFC spent time with Anthony Smith. He was on TV, doing the TV for ESPN. I was second row octagon for Duplessis and Chimaev. Great card. A spinning back fist and a spinning elbow back to back in the same card. Never happened before. One with literally 1 second left in the first round, and the guy's losing the round. Spinning elbow. Whop. Night out. See you. Deuces. And then the next one, Aaron Pico, who's like a phenom, wrestling phenom in high school and otherwise. UFC taking on a number 6 ranked contender. He dominated the first round. But stood up straight off a clinch and took a spinning back fist that knocked him into Tuesday. I think he just woke up. Great card, great weekend. Great to see the Huskers. There were several Huskers at both the Bananas game and the Bears game. Again, supporting Torrey and Casey Rogers. A lot of red ends in the building. A lot of Husker shirts in the building. Chicago did well by the Huskers this weekend, and it was very cool. So
while you were in Chicago, I was in Kansas City. It was affiliate appreciation night / weekend.
There we go.
So I represented
nice
the ticket out there at Kansas City. I was able to bring my family down. Here's the best part, though, DP. The free food.
How about that?
And the free drinks.
Get them.
Through the fourth inning.
Get them. Get them.
I did the final tally as I was texting back and forth throughout the course of the night and the weekend with fellow Royals fan at the station, Jake Sorensen. I have a well-deserved reputation as a meticulous eater. I take my time. I don't necessarily chow down. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
I'm a member of the club.
Okay. So this free food lasted from when the doors opened at 4:30 through the fourth inning. My family and I got there, pulled up probably about 5:15 or so. And that's about 2 hours then till the fourth inning. In that time, DP, 3 hot dogs, 2 bags of chips, 3 cookies, 3 beers, a seltzer, 2 bottles of water, and a Coke. All for free.
That is good work.
On the Royals' dime.
That is good work.
I did that.
That's good. We would have been disappointed had you not. Because listen, we don't get a lot of perks. Okay, wrong. We get a lot of perks. But perks that we appreciate when you get the night where you really get to kind of stretch your legs in it. Kansas City during the media appreciation, certainly affiliate appreciation, certainly makes that building that Kauffman does well. Not all buildings do well with that.
Right.
Shout out Utah Jazz for being exceptional. And the UFC. Oh yeah, they did the thing this week
on Salt Lake City. DP Rob Manfred was on air during the Little League Classic between the Mets and the Mariners. Said the two, one of the cities that really stands out and has impressed him is Salt Lake City for potential MLB expansion. Sounds like it's Salt Lake City, Portland, and Nashville would be the front runners. What would be Salt Lake City's edge potentially in potential MLB expansion?
It's like Nebraska in that it fully supports anything with its name on. The new stadium is being built. They know where it's going to go. They built a new AAA stadium already,
for the Bees, right?
Right, for the Bees, which in the space. The one thing about Utah, there's plenty of land. And they own it all. They own it all. So finding a space for it, here's my hope that they dome it. Because just like Nebraska baseball early season, late March, early April, it's iffy. Give yourselves a chance to enjoy that money. And Utah sports is all family based.
Okay.
So if you make it comfortable for them, they show up in numbers.
I think dome is good too because of the elevation. Otherwise, you run into course 2.0.
Yeah, it's tough.
Turn on the humidor.
It's tough. The basketball teams have figured that out. College football teams have figured that out. You go to Provo and Salt Lake City, it's a problem. It's a problem. Like literally, it's a thing. Your lungs start it's crazy. So yes, the advantage in that I choose Portland's long game when it comes to baseball is in play in less competition, but they also have the minor league situation there for you to deal with. But Salt Lake provides like that Northeast travel is still a bit. Getting into Salt Lake City with the Olympics right behind it and all the accoutrement that has been put in play for the second Olympics.
Yeah.
The second Olympics makes Salt Lake City the front runner. The A's actually said that out loud before they, regretted saying it. Toronto certainly speaks loudly that that is in play. So yeah, I think the league, if you're going to transfer somebody, but if you're going to build it freely. They just watched Utah do hockey, and it was everything that NHL aspired for it to be. So baseball, Major League Baseball wouldn't. We had the question about NFL football. We were having the conversation about it, and I think people need to recognize that the things that would keep Salt Lake from having football, it's only 10 Sundays. Right? It's only 10 home Sundays.
Yeah.
You know, they do have rules about not doing business on Sunday. But there's still room enough for other people. I don't think Utah's a football state. Like Utah loves football more than loves baseball, basketball, hockey. Like truly. Like you go to on any given weekend with Provo and Salt Lake City having high level football on the same weekend. I think the number is like 130,000 fans watch football on Saturday.
Pretty good number.
There's room. So interesting enough.
Max on Twitter says, great point. Just wait till the Minnesota Twins make the World Series someday and have to play outside in November. The people who built that stadium are definitely not thinking ahead on that. Fret not. The Minnesota Twins will not be making the World Series anytime soon. So
yikes.
They're safe. We'll go to break.
Well, we said that we were saying that about the Brewers.
They haven't made it yet, DP. They're not there yet.
Okay.
I love me some Brewers.
Yeah.
They're not there yet. We'll go to break. We do have Brian Munson of Husker Online coming up next. Husker football recruiting conversation.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Oerman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, I'm Casey Oddie, and I'm the retail banking manager at your local Midwest Bank branch on 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Banking may be my job, but supporting the community is what I care most about. Whether I'm showing up at local events, partnering with schools, or helping people reach financial milestones, I am proud to be a part of what makes Lincoln strong. Let's build something together. Stop by and say hi. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Salt Mine City is your go-to brewery in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their big fatty 7-ounce hamburger or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is Old School. We are headed to our Aloe Fiber VIP line where we'll be joined by Brian Munson of Husker Online. Been a couple of weeks. I've been in and out here, but glad to have you back on the air. Brian, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. How about yourself?
Doing well. Excited to get back into the swing of things here 10 days before kickoff. Plenty of recruiting news to catch up on over the course of the last few weeks. But some big news just over the weekend. Brian, let's start with that. An in-state commit for Nebraska. Check that box for the Huskers. And a 4 borderline 5-star commit in the defensive backfield. Torrey Pittman out of Omaha Central. What went into his decision to commit to Nebraska right before the start of his junior year?
Yeah, I mean, that's it's pretty wild. I mean, I think we all felt pretty good about Torrey ending up a Husker, but the timing of it was just, I think, kind of caught everybody by surprise. So, I mean, when I caught up with him on Friday and I just asked him, I said, you know, what made this decision like the right thing for you? He just said, it's always been home. And I tell you what, and I said, like in one of my articles, I said that was really a refreshing answer, because I think where I kind of see things at, you know, is a little bit different than everybody else, because I remember a time when, you know, an in-state kid got a Nebraska offer and they were done. They were committing. That was the place. That was the spot for them to go. And obviously times then aren't the same as they are now, but I think that this is an encouraging sign that things could be getting back to that. There's a level of pride, I think, that you could kind of hear in Torrey's voice, that a level of pride, of course, that he feels to have that opportunity. But I also think, you know, Matt Rule and his staff just did an excellent job. I mean, I think when you're going against those big boy schools, let's just call them what they are, where you got Oregon and USC and Tennessee and Michigan and Notre Dame. I mean, just to name like 5 or so of like the 30 some odd schools that have offered him. I think that you got to put your best foot forward, and regardless if you're the in-state school or not. I think that in this case, obviously, you don't have quite as much going for you as what those other schools do, even if you are the in-state school. And Torrey, I think, made note of that, and then I think he also just kind of, the rest of it just kind of fell into place. Man, it was right place, right time, going to play for the in-state school because it's always been home. A really refreshing answer from him on Friday.
Torrey Pittman listed at 6 foot, 185, somewhere in there. Probably not done growing yet. What's the kind of the projection on his frame? Where does Nebraska see him ending up size-wise if they're going to keep him at safety?
You know, I think we measured him in at like 6'1", 185 this spring when we were up there for our in-state tour. I think that's what he's got in our database at. You know, he said he worked a lot on his man-to-man skills, but I'll be honest with you. When I watch his film as like a free safety, it's tough for me not just to get all giddy and just say, you don't have to worry about your man-to-man skills, buddy. I mean, unless maybe, you're going to roll down and play some nickel and we don't need to take you off the football field or something like that. But I think he's a true free, number one. He has got some extraordinary athleticism. He has got an amazing, I'll call it a catch radius, but I don't think like a catch radius is really fair because, everybody talked about about Larry Fitzgerald and his catch radius when he was just kind of moving his arms around the stationary. What Torrey does is he is able to leap and there's some level of body control that he has, that he is able to kind of, jump over a would-be receiver, essentially like go over their helmet, like bent over and like lean out in front of the guy, like by going through them, but going over them. And he does it all the time. I mean, and the other part about that I love about him as a free is because I've never seen him get beat. He has got an extra gear that he seems to be able to hit whenever he needs to use it. And I think that that's also something that the Nebraska coaches have just got to be super excited about, is just bringing that athleticism back to the safety position. So could he play offense, for example? Yes, he absolutely could. And I mentioned it in my 3 and Out on Sunday. I just said, if there's a possibility, if that was something that Nebraska was interested in doing, I could see that possibility coming up. I'm not in favor of it. I think very few guys are capable of going both ways and basically, staying healthy and being productive in both their spots. So I think Nebraska needs to make a determination where they see him fitting in. They don't seem to have any problems getting wide receivers, so I think that that's maybe what kind of drives me to keep him on the defensive side of the football. And I think, maybe he's not completely tapped out yet at like the 6'1" mark. Maybe he could get slightly a little bit taller. But as a free, I don't really need him. If I'm a coach, I don't need him to get much heavier than that. I don't want him to eat into his athleticism at all. I really want him to stay as nimble and as athletic as he possibly can be. So it's, I think this is a really, really, really big get for Nebraska, particularly when you start to look at it from a class perspective and who the first 2 commits are in the 2027 class. A lot of things to be optimistic about.
That's just where I was headed next as we wrap up the Torrey Pittman part of this, Brian. He's in. The other commit in 27, Trey Taylor. 2 guys that I'm sure, will have suitors continue to come calling until they get their names actually signed on the dotted line. I think Husker fans obviously hoping and pulling that things remain the same. How much work will Nebraska have to put in by the time we get to a year from now in December to be able to make sure these 2 guys are still in the class?
Oh, there's nothing about what they've done so far that's going to keep any schools from contacting them. I mean, they're going to continuously get contact because they're just those talented players. I mean, I got a phone call this last weekend from somebody that covered Penn State, and they were mentioning that Penn State was starting to sniff around over there. We already knew that Michigan was, and we knew that North Carolina State was as well. So there are or South Carolina, excuse me. There are definitely some schools that have not cared one bit that he has decided to verbally commit to Nebraska. I'm sure that the same will be said for a guy that's even more highly rated than Trey Taylor or Torrey Pittman. That they will hear, all about it, and what they could do somewhere else, until they sign on the dotted line. And then, of course, people know that it's going to be 16 months of this. So just make sure, you're buckled in, because we'll be talking about this for 16 months about, who else is contacting them and whatever else. So it's going to be a wild ride.
Brian Munson from Husker Online is our guest on our Allo Fiber VIP line. Some other headlines in Husker recruiting. Brian, of course, the first big high school game of the year had a Nebraska connection. That was Dayton Raiola and his Buford High School team defeating Milton in a nationally televised game. What did you see in that game out of Nebraska's left-handed signal caller in the 2026 class? What maybe looks the same that drew Nebraska to him to begin with, and where did you maybe see some improvements in week 1?
Yeah, he's grown physically, which is something I think that everybody was picking up on, the more and more they saw him around Lincoln and around his brother, because there was always a bit of a disparity between those two height-wise, right? And I think that was something that a lot of people were wondering about, like, when was he going to hit that little growth spurt? And he has. So he looked great physically. I know he's put a lot of time into it. He spent a lot of time in the spring working on it. He even ran track, to try to get more in shape. He is a little more nifty when it comes to running the football, I think is the best way I would kind of say it. He had, at least 3 runs that I can think of that were 10 yards or more. He was able to kind of continue drives, convert on third down. He had demonstrated that he had a strong arm last year, but he also demonstrated it again on Thursday night. He, like, on air that drew like a defensive penalty for pass interference, like 61 yards, just kind of throwing it back there. Didn't have to load up at all. Just kind of just threw it. So he's got a strong arm. He's got a way to kind of put some touch on it. He threw a nice wheel route down the right-hand side of the field. It was closer to the screen, or the bottom of the screen, I guess, is the way I would say it. So, and then he also showed on the little, I guess I was kind of calling it a seam route. It's kind of a go route out of the slot position. When he overthrew the guy in the touchdown going right to left, he had to layer that ball over that defensive back. The defensive back had great coverage, and I felt like he did a great job of layering that throw. He just was just a little bit off. I know that there's a throw he wished he could have back, to throw before halftime. He's just going to have to, he's a young quarterback. I mean, he's only played 13 games of varsity football, now 14. He's going to have to learn how to kind of keep, he's going to have to keep those things at bay that, makes him want to force it and try to be like a hero. He doesn't need to do that for that team in particular. That team is not going to win because they need Dylan to go out there and like do big things every night. He just needs to manage the game. Their defense will basically keep them in every football game as long as they can score 17 points. That defense was incredible. So Buford just needs to go out there and manage the football game. And I think that's what you're going to see a lot of Dayton, which is going to provide him still a lot of different ways for him to grow, to be patient, to focus on some things, his footwork, staying in the pocket, when to kind of pull it down and run the football. So all good things that he can still kind of do this year. But Buford looks like a very, very good team. They beat a great Milton team. Milton goes now, I think, to Florida, and they will play against Nebraska cornerback commitment Danny Odom this week. So another good game for one of the Nebraska commits against another, the really good team, Georgia, Milton.
A couple things really quickly on Dayton Raiola. First of all, when you see quarterbacks like him with that mindset coming out of high school, is it easier to teach guys with that aggressive mindset to rein it in a little bit, or is it easier to take maybe the more conservative guys and say, hey, don't be afraid to push the envelope a little bit more?
Ooh, that's kind of 6 1, half dozen of the other. I think you're going to have to find the guy that's maybe even like the more aggressive and tell him to kind of, you're going to have to keep the horses in the corral. Don't let them all out on every.
Might have lost Brian.
Negatives better than trying to get a guy to kind of step up and say, this guy's open. If you throw here's your window. And you got to make this, or no, it's not just this isn't a check down. This isn't a break pocket and run. You make this throw here. And I think that those are more tough. Those are more difficult, I think, to do, because sometimes that comes back to maybe he doesn't know how to read a defense. Maybe he doesn't know what kind of coverage they're throwing at him, and he really doesn't know like where he's supposed to go with the football. As opposed to, I've got a really strong arm, and I can gun this thing in there. Let's see if I can go ahead and get this ball within this 1 foot by 1 foot window for a split second. And that's the kind of moment right there where you can go, the odds of that happening are no, so you don't do that. And that's just how you would do it after game and film.
One other thing then on Husker football recruiting, Brian, it's kind of a throwback to last year. You brought up a name a few times on this show during his recruitment, Cade Pedchock. He got name dropped today as a guy that sounds like he's pushing for playing time already at Nebraska. What do you remember about Nebraska's recruitment of Cade Pedchock? And are you surprised that he's in the mix, for the Huskers this early in his career?
Cade Pedchock's film, I can distinctly remember showing it to both of my sons on vacation a year ago. And the reason why was because he brought back memories of Grant Wistrom. He has a tremendous motor, and it was on both sides of the football. I mean, it wasn't just as a defensive guy. It wasn't as an offensive guy. He does not shut off. I would say I'm a bit surprised just because he was not an early guy. He didn't show up until June. I think he was actually dealing with a bit of an injury as well. So he was coming back from that. And to kind of be where he's at, I think says a bunch about him and how he prepares for the game. Maybe not necessarily being 100%, but going out there and just battling. So I would say ultimately I am surprised, but I'm really not, just because down to the very basics of him, that motor of his it's incredible. If you guys have not watched his huddle film, I highly recommend it. It's some of the best huddle film I've ever seen, and it doesn't surprise me in that regard that he's there. I think the other circumstances, that kind of stands in the way for me just coming out, standing in the way of just saying, totally not surprised. But he's had to go through a lot to kind of, and very quickly, to be where he's at.
You can watch the huddle film yourself, or you can tune in to Old School 3:30 on Mondays for more Husker recruiting breakdowns from Brian Munson, who, of course, writes for Husker Online as well. Brian, great to catch up with you again. Thanks a ton for your time. We'll get back into the regular routine as we move closer to kickoff here, my friend.
Football season's here, buddy. Talk to you soon.
That it is. That's Brian Munson of Husker Online with us on our VIP line, brought to you by the great people at Allo Fiber. Allo Fiber is where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. We'll be back, wrap up hour one of Old School. Get ready to welcome in Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman at the top of the hour.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: showers and storms likely this morning, then mainly sunny skies this afternoon. It'll be hot with a high near 94. Tonight, a chance of showers and storms, below around 71. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers and storms, otherwise mainly sunny with a high around 90. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Batter up! Join us this summer at Haymarket Park for 50 action-packed Salt Dogs games running now through August. Visit saltdogs.com for updates on everything you need to know about weekly promotions, giveaways, and special events. That's where you'll find the latest updates to make sure you catch all the excitement and never miss a homestand you want to attend. Haymarket Park is your ticket to fun all summer long. Visit saltdogs.com to get your tickets and unleash the fun.
Make this your best football season yet with help from Limitless Mail. If you're struggling with low energy, muscle loss, brain fog, belly fat, mood swings, it's likely low testosterone, and Limitless Mail can fix that. We've helped over 100,000 men feel stronger, leaner, sharper, and more like themselves again. Don't sit on the sidelines this season. Take control. Book your free consult today at limitlessmail.com. That's limitlessmail.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. Visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers.
Back to old school with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on Old School. Austin Norman, DP, with you. Big thanks to the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese for bringing you Old School every day from 3 to 6 here on The Ticket. DP, some news out of the NFL here where we have just a couple minutes before we get to hour 2. Joe Flacco named the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Of course, he was there, led them to the playoffs in 2023. Member of the Indianapolis Colts last year. Now he's back in Cleveland. He will start the year taking the snaps for Cleveland. Do you think that he will last 10 weeks as QB1 by the lake?
I don't. I guess the betting would be when he loses the job, does he lose it from lack of production or from injury? I think those are the two questions, because that's generally attention. If a team drafts a rookie quarterback, let alone 2 rookie quarterbacks, that the intention is that, I mean, think Alex Smith and Mahomes, it's the standard, right? That across the league, you have a veteran in place who holds the reins until the rookie's ready to take over or has to. Without an injury to Drew Bledsoe, we don't know Tom Brady that way. And it goes, same for Kirk Cousins. If RG3 doesn't go down, you don't know what you don't know.
Speaking of 2 guys in the same draft.
Right. Like literally that's the space. I don't even remember who quarterback 3 was that year.
We're what, 2012?
Yeah, I would think that you were past the man, I don't know who the quarterback was the year before. Brad Johnson? No.
I pulled up, and the very first thing that I see is 2006 Super Bowl participant Rex Grossman.
Yeah, sexy Rexy.
He did great down in Miami.
Oh, sexy Rexy. Just, he had 2 moments in D.C. And, of course, those were not enough for them to. But he went into camp. He went into camp as the starter, projected starter. They thought opening day it would be Rex Grossman. And RG3 showed out against, matter of fact, the RG3 Andrew Luck matchup in week 1 of preseason set the table that both of those guys were going to be the starters pretty quickly for those teams.
2011. So Rex Grossman's there.
Mhm.
Do you know who he was competing with in 2011?
Tony Banks?
Not Tony Banks. John Beck.
Oh, that's right. BYU Beck. BYU Beck, who I actually thought would hold the job for year one. I thought he was going to hold the job. I literally thought I went on radio that year because I'd seen him. I'd seen Beck at BYU, and I'd seen that the moment was never too big, right? It's all the things you want to talk about. It just never connected. It never clicked. And then RG3 came in and showed him what it could look like.
Is there another year in Redskins/Commanders history that you would like to know the starting quarterback for?
Most of them we could do pretty good. If you went, so Brunell, there was the Steve Spurrier run where Patrick Ramsey and Spurrier's Florida future were competing for the job, and they went back and forth. And I think Tony Banks ended up doing it. The year after Cousins left, it was Joshua Johnson winning the job.
Indeed.
Actually, not winning the job, being handed the job because everybody else got beat up throughout the course of the year. So
I was not much into the Redskins or Commanders growing up, but my mom's cousin is a fan of that franchise. And so the first Redskins quarterback name that I remember is Patrick Ramsey.
You don't remember Theismann?
Well, I'm talking like of my exist. Like I've heard the names. Like I'd go back further, and, like know the names. So the first one, I remember, like from my childhood, is Patrick Ramsey.
I mean, there are guys like John Freeze who I loved. I was with Freeze hanging out in San Diego when he was with the Chargers before he came back to DC and held it down for a bit. Of course, wrongly so. And then the replacement team of the Super Bowl year with where you had to go and get a quarterback from prison to man it. Actually, they had a guy who set a Redskins passing record with Anthony Allen from Washington, as University of Washington, as a wide receiver. I want to say he went bonkers for like 291 in receiving during the first replacement game, and they held him around for a bit. Then he got hurt, and then when they were playing the Cowboys on Monday night with against like the Stars, like literally the backup replacements are playing against Danny White, Tony Dorsett, and Randy White, and they beat Dallas in Dallas on Monday night. With Tony Robinson, that's his name.
2011 Redskins leading rusher. Do you know who it was?
2011.
It was 2 years after Clinton Portis.
So after Portis,
but before Alfred Morris.
Wow.
There's a Husker connection here, DP.
Oh, Roy Halou.
Roy Halou.
Yeah, Halou. I was there for Halou's. I've got the pictures of Halou's rookie day with the Redskins, his signing day.
And the leading receiver in 2011. Here's a name.
Well, I know also on that list, Niles Paul was on that team. Right. Niles Paul was on that team.
Was not the leading receiver.
The leading receiver. Well, that was the Cooley era. But he didn't lead the team that year.
This player is not most well known for his time in Washington.
Vernon Davis?
It was not Vernon Davis. Jabbar Gaffney.
That Florida connection stayed in DC way too long past Spurrier. Like that, just Spurrier left a stink in Washington. You talk about the swamp. Like he brought the Florida Gator swamp to DC, and we were not happy.
Well, you made it. You survived it.
Yes, sir.
1 hour of old school down, 2 more hours to go. Austin Oerman, DP with you, Jay Foreman on his way. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Oerman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Make this your best football season yet with help from Limitless Mail. If you're struggling with low energy, muscle loss, brain fog, belly fat, mood swings, it's likely low testosterone, and Limitless Mail can fix that. We've helped over 100,000 men feel stronger, leaner, sharper, and more like themselves again. Don't sit on the sidelines this season. Take control. Book your free consult today at limitlessmail.com. That's limitlessmail.com.
Staying healthy and comfortable starts with the air you breathe. If you're noticing more dust, odors, or allergies, it could be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Pure Air starts with cleaner air ducts, hair with enhanced filtration and purifications options, and the difference is amazing. When the air you breathe is clean and fresh, your home smells fresher, and your family is healthier. Time for cleaner air in your home? Call Bryant for a free estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
We strive to help people get into home ownership. That is the American dream. Having something that you can go home at night and say, this is mine, is very important. The great thing about Remington Homes is affordability.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about their exciting new division, Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier.
The exciting thing about a Remington home is you get to choose your floor plan from predetermined floor plans. We give you a lot of choices, and you couple that with our great lot selection in all different areas. People do not want to be married to their house payment. They want to get a nice house with nice finishes in a great area for an affordable price. And that's what Remington Homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine, and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help you find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Oerman. Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome to Hour 2 of the show, brought to you by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Austin and DP with you for now. I know Jay Foreman is nearing his arrival here at the station in the studio, so stay tuned for that. Appreciate everyone texting in on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. A lot of people interacting with the show so far today. 402-464-5685. DP, we'll open this up to the text line, but I want to start with your response to this question here while we get some from the text line. With 10 days between us and kickoff for Nebraska football. What are the unanswered questions for you? What do you want to learn about this team over the next 9 days before they kick in about 10 days and 4 hours?
Again, folks know that I'm a member of the club that as a coach and player, the more questions you have about a team leads to the comfort and trust of that team. Fewer questions, more trust. We haven't seen this version of Dylan Ryle. We have more questions than answers. That's probably the simplest thing to say. Is that
how many teams have fewer questions than answers across the country?
The
short list.
The six teams at the in the top third of the Big Ten have fewer questions than everybody else. The six teams in the middle of the Big Ten have more questions than they want and that they're comfortable with, and that maybe they should have. Right, falls in line that the Minnesotas of the world, Wisconsin's, what version of Iowa offense is going to exist, and for a variety of reasons in that space, right, all those spaces, the bottom third, it's all question. It's all question. You know so very little about the bottom third teams in the Big Ten Conference, and then as those answers either show up or not show up, you can move directionally. We know what the Big Six and the Big Ten are going to do. We have some idea about the personality. The coaches have built some tradition. They've got that standard to work from. Solid returning group in the space. You understand the play calling principles and what their tendencies are. You know the expectation, but they execute so good that you just don't care. Middle folks could go either way. Don't know. Good Saturday, bad Saturday. It could be, right? That
good girlfriend, bad girlfriend.
Right. That there are going to be 3 Saturdays where Nebraska runs the ball. Emmett goes bonkers, right? And it looks like, oh my goodness, it's the version of Nebraska football that we've all dreamed of. But we also could expect that at the other end of the spectrum, there'll be 3 games where, what are we doing? Like, why?
This looks like 2022 again.
And then you hope that those 3 games are against the right teams, right? Is that going to be middle of the pack? Do the 3 best defenses in the Big Ten take away Nebraska's run? That's literally going to define how those games go. And then the other 6 sit in the middle. Those other 6 games where you're going to have moments of expertise in the run game. You're going to have moments where the pass pro is exceptional, and then you're going to blow one. You're going to have 6 games where you have 1 turnover. You'll have 3 games where you have no turnovers. And then you're going to have 3 games throughout the course of the year that, my goodness, what were we doing? Defensively, you're going to have 3 games where you lock down folks and they make play. You're going to have 3 where no matter what you do, they're going to have an answer for it. They're just better than you. And then 6 in the middle. What do you get from those, right? The difference between a 9-win season and a 6-win season will come in those middle 6 games. What you do with it. We have questions. We haven't seen this Nebraska team. We don't know what you're going to get from the receiver position. We hope. We don't know who the number 2 running back is.
We do not.
We don't know what it looks like. What are you going to do?
We don't know either tackle spot.
What are you going to do in short yardage? You throwing off short yardage, or do you have a power runner, or are you going to lean on Emmett, is Emmett going to carry 22 times a game, or is he going to carry ideally 17 times a game? Or is he a 26 carry a game guy?
Nebraska has mastered the tush push in the offseason.
Right? Like I don't.
Let's see it.
But if you're going to do that, Harburg comes into the game, and then we know that he can throw. So I certainly am in the playbook. I'm in the lab a little bit with those situations where I want to throw a bad defense off kilter by replacing Dylan with Harburg in those situations. One time he runs tush push, then he pulls it and runs on the outside. That time, dink and dunk to Leonard Mueller in the end zone. There's lots you can do.
Well, let's jump off on that for a minute. You made the position switch if you're Heinrich Harburg.
Good heavens, who is this massive human being walking by the station? That is a massive human being.
Yeah, he played D-line.
He played whatever he wanted. That's 6'5", about 320.
Big dude.
That is a ginormous dude.
And rocked up, too.
Man.
He was wearing it well.
What? Does Nebraska have a new strength coach we don't know about? Are they recruiting? That dude is massive. That dude is massive. Holy cow. Just walking down O Street.
The things you see, 1040 O Street. Stop by for a cup of coffee.
Oh, man.
See the people. That's what we do, staring out the window here for hours on hours. Okay, Heinrich Harburg. DP makes the switch to tight end. If let's take this from Heinrich Harburg's perspective first. Obviously, team guy, right? Seems like he's a pretty well-respected dude on the team. But you made the switch to tight end for you to some degree, right? You're sure your coaches asked you to, but that's where they believe, and you must have agreed that if you want to make the NFL, that's your best shot. Obviously, if they ask you, hey, Heinrich, can you still do this whole short yardage running thing? Yeah, coach, I got you. Don't worry about it. On the flip side, if you're Heinrich Harburg, are you kind of trying to resist those overtures and say, hey, in a pinch, I'll do it, but you guys move me to tight end. I want to play tight end. It's Jalen Gramstad's turn, or trust Quentin Ives to pick up too.
Football player. Are you a football player? And listen, Logan Thomas made a really good NFL tight end career moving from playing quarterback at Virginia Tech. Taysom Hill. Right? That, again, quarterback at BYU, tight end at BYU, going back and forth. Right? You make sense. Jeff Driscoll, Zach Gentry, Mike Tice. There's a whole line of quarterbacks who were athletic and made the swap, and it absolutely worked for them. I'm not sure that it fails often, quite frankly, because a quarterback knows what everybody needs to do. A tight end understands what the quarterback needs for him to do in that particular situation better than anybody else on the field. This is why Hines Ward was such a great wide receiver. He understood what he wanted from his receivers. Where do I need for you to be? What's going to happen here? Harburg strikes me as the type of young man that is going to do what's best for the team. And then ultimately he will reap the benefit of it because he's such an elite athlete. He's a unique athlete, that size, that speed, and the willingness to go back and forth because not everybody wants to.
No, not everybody wants to. And I think it would be to his credit, if he were to do that for the team. But I also think if you're Nebraska, you have to balance too. In the moment, is it worth, using Heinrich Harburg there where he's probably not taking many snaps and just hope he's still got it? I'm sure there's a package for him. Or do you say, hey, Jalen Gramstad, you're our backup quarterback. You got some legs. We trust you to do it. They tried it with Carter Nelson, right, at running back a couple times. Is it worth moving Heinrich Harburg because he's done it? Or do you say, hey, Heinrich, we want you to focus just on tight end. We'll find someone else to fill that role because we trust in them too.
So if you get, they put Austin with a headset on a Saturday, and from the couch they ask you, hey, Austin, third and 2, 6-yard line. We want to put this next option. We want to add something to the Kool-Aid, right? We don't want a traditional set with Dylan and receivers. We want to make the defense uncomfortable. You look over the sideline and he goes, who do you want? You want Harburg? I think the answer is you want Harburg.
Yeah.
I think trust. And this is Big Ten football.
Yeah.
Like this is Big Ten. You could tell me maybe Houston Christian, we're gonna take a look otherwise. But if it's Michigan and you have a chance to get Michigan off guard in a critical moment, Harburg's been under center in that situation. He understands what's happening. He's not going to get emotional. He's not. Listen, we're talking about a 6'5.5" tank with wheels and who can throw the short pass with accuracy. Go with what you know. That seems to me to be the better decision. But I don't know what happens. I can't imagine that he's not getting reps. Like I just can't imagine that he has a lot to learn about playing tight end. But remember, most of that is blocked from the route tree. He's ahead of everybody in the tight end room about the route tree and the concepts, the passing game concepts. He's ahead of everybody. He and Dylan have had conversations about what they want in down and distance from their receivers at different places than anybody else. Those two have had those conversations. So guess what? There is a matter of trust between Dylan and Harburg. Hey, man, eyes here, third step, go to green. Don't worry about staying true to the route. Don't stack it. Don't stem it. Get to green, and I'll get the ball to you where you can do some work. Just tuck it, and I'll throw you to safety. Those are conversations that have. I would say I trust Harburg a little bit more.
Oh, I trust him too. Absolutely, I do. I guess my first hope would be that Nebraska doesn't need to resort to that or lie to it. I'd like to see a traditional run game, with the offensive line that can move people.
No. That coach and me, look, there are times when, quite frankly, I just want to line up and beat you up.
Mm-hmm.
But there are times when I need to, and I want to, make you uncomfortable. I want to make the opponent uncomfortable. I want them to spend 30 practice reps that week thinking about Harburg. Because that's 30 they're not thinking about Emmett.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I need for them to get out of their comfort. And listen, I'll run him out there even if I'm going to hand it off to Emmett. I can run him out there. Listen, I'm going to take 2 boundary setters off the block out of the numbers by bringing Harburg to hand off to Emmett.
Mm-hmm.
Because those edges are like, he not getting me on tape. Like what? First of all, that's a 235-pound dude who can run coming at the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. I need to be here with some bounce just in case he decides to show up.
To keep it. Mm-hmm.
Right. You don't want to be on the guy's NFL combine tape as the linebacker that got by Harburg. No.
By tight end.
Right. Like it's a thing. So there are things that you can use. Think about it. The difference between Ohio State comes to town. They have 2 quarterbacks of note.
Mm-hmm. They did name a starter today, Julian saying.
Right.
By the way.
But also anybody that plays Ohio State knows I have to consider.
The dude's a dude, and the dude behind the dude is a dude.
I have to consider. There are 2 runners, all conference caliber runners.
Mm-hmm.
Different styles. They hit different, and their tendencies are different as well. I have to. Same for Penn State. I've got 2 all caliber runners back there. They hit different, and the play call tendencies are different. Mm-hmm. So I've got to spend time in film study, in practice, indies, group, team, going over what could happen if they just so happen. You know what? 3rd 2, if he's here, key this. If he's not here,
key that.
Key that. I love having a straw to stir the drink. Yeah, Harburg's that thing.
Let's go to our text line here, brought to you by Starter Heyman Jewelers. We'll start with Cubsker. 3 questions. Number 1 from him: are special teams fixed?
We don't know.
Can't know until?
Cannot. Look, we have. I think it's fair to say that Nebraska fans have found a greater level of belief or comfort or trust in the current regime than past. Different personality types. They could both be in the same room, but the idea behind Eckler gives people comfort in believing that he's going to simplify. They are going to do less, way better than they have in the previous few years. Mm-hmm. So fixed, we'll find out. Better prepared, probably.
Number 2, will the defensive line step up after Ty Robinson and Nash Hutmaker went to the NFL? Again, we won't know that right now. We know a lot of the names, but not a whole lot of reps across that line. Some here and there. Not saying they won't find a way to produce this year, but again, that's a relatively untested and a relatively unproductive group so far. Again, they're young. I'm not saying they're unproductive as in they're bad. They're unproductive as in they just haven't put up the counting stats yet.
Well, nobody on the roster beat out Nash and Ty.
Right.
So we know how good Nash and Ty were.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the Big Ten, we knew the perks and the flaws. We knew them both. Opportunity to play differently with different players, right? Maybe more athletic, maybe quicker in the middle, right? Gap control, maybe a little different.
Different,
right?
Certainly.
A little different. You can't play the same way that you play. You can have the same rules, but Nash and Ty were going to work differently than the young men who are going to get reps in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
There are ways to win with smaller, quicker interiors, right? pressure.
Ever heard of a guy named Aaron Donald?
Right. It becomes and I don't want to put that on these guys. Like I don't want to do that to them.
I just did. So,
but yeah,
what about Ed Oliver. Can we do Ed Oliver? How about that?
Right. Well, I mean, even then, Oliver
that was a number one overall.
Could lift the back of a truck. Mm-hmm. Like yeah, like
was Robert Camdicho? Was he a tackle or an end?
Yeah, both. Listen, I think role players in specific responsibility pockets is how this group is going to work. And again, we don't know it because again, the expectation, we don't know what they see in the 400 reps throughout the course of the indie group team. Otherwise, we don't know what they're seeing. We can't know. Right. What do you do in friction? You may just be really good against Nebraska's number one left guard. Doesn't mean you're going to be good against Cincinnati's number one left guard. Different guys, right? So we will see. We don't have answers. We have projections based on conversations. You can go back and look at film on what they've done, what limited film you have under this coordinator. Remember, we haven't seen this was a different group leading it a year ago. We don't know what this group tendencies, the thing that he likes to do in 3rd and 6, different than we've had previously. Different type guys.
Cubsker's third question then, what will go into what's the most important part of Dylan living up to the hype bestowed on him coming into Nebraska?
Stay healthy. Stay healthy. Stay off your back. Keep people off your knees. Right? Like clean passing windows for him to throw through. Like they have to protect him to keep him healthy. And the easiest way to protect Dylan is a solid run game. Let him get that ball away and get out of the way. Right? So if we can do that 35 times a game, the pressure is off Dylan for those plays. You know what? Ball handle, make sure the timing's right, get him in the right place. But if that's not working, where guys can pin back their ears and get another pass rusher in the space, okay, now you're speeding up Dylan and you're speeding up the receivers, right? Because the receivers know heat's coming. I got to get to my spot on time. And I have to have separation. And then I have to finish. The easiest way for a young quarterback to be protected, run game, and then pass catching tight ends, right? Right in front of him. Short throws, quick throws. Dylan's been really profound about not throwing high across the middle. New tight end pass receivers, it's going to be vital. He's got to throw to numbers. Can't throw to hands. Got to throw to numbers. So if he stays healthy, if he plays the full season, things are going to go well for Nebraska offensively.
Big Daddy Travis says he has a mountain of questions on defense and offense. First of all, does Nebraska have a number 2 running back? That question's been asked quite a bit. The answer is we don't know who it is. Yeah, we haven't seen a depth chart. But DP, for a pretty young group like Nebraska has in the backfield, how does Nebraska simplify things for its running backs to make sure they can go out there and play as fast as possible?
Well, the fat guys up front matter. Like the fat guys up front matter. And remember that you have time to build them up to lean. Now, game 1, they're going to face maybe the best defensive lineman they're going to face all year anyway. Right?
Corleone's good.
Right? He's a Superman. That's just how it works. Sorry, get over it. You're going to have to figure out how to double team and then clear a linebacker for that. Now, some missed tackles along the way would be certainly helpful. And can you get to the tackle? Can we get off guard tackle on either side? Can Nebraska be productive? Can you win those battles? Right? Double down, point of attack, and then get to the guard tackle where one more win puts Emmett one-on-one with a linebacker, and you need to win 2 of those. If you don't win them, you should still get positive yards. But can you break it? And Matt Rule's talked about the ability of being explosive and turning those 2s and 3s into 20s and 30s. Well, that's Emmett beating a linebacker in space or safety downhill. But you got to get the big fat dude off the middle of the field and get him out of the way. You have to divide. Nebraska we would always talk about when we got good interior defenders, that I have to win from my center's left hip or right hip to the tackle. I have to. Don't get cute.
Mm-hmm.
If I can get 4 yards from the center's hip to the middle of the field on that side, I don't need to win hash mark to hash mark. I need to win from center's hip to hash mark. And if I can do that, I'm going to win the game because it allows me to do everything else I want to do outside of that, right? They tell you as a runner, hash, number, sideline. Coaches scheme that way. Hash, number, sideline. And if I can win from the center's hip to the hash, I can do more from hash to numbers, and then I can do numbers to sideline. I can do more if I win sections of the field. That
as opposed to trying to win everything all the time.
I'm not beating their 11. I'm not blocking their 11. I don't care. Guys farthest away from the ball, do whatever you want. Do whatever. You could be out there twerking. I don't care. What I need to win is the half of the field from center's hip to my next offensive lineman. And then if I can win that one, then I can extend it to the next offensive lineman. Because now if I've got 3 workers, 2 wins in 3 holes, I got a chance. And then if I win those, I can now stretch the field. And Emmett, with a smaller guy outside, I like my chances. Emmett, one-on-one with a safety in open field. If Emmett goes 2 for 4, that's 12 points. That's literally the thinking behind it is, can my big guys win interior so that my exterior guys can do more work and get to a next level? Can I get my big 315-pound guard on a 240-pound linebacker? One-on-one.
Jay Foreman's favorite situation.
Hey,
Foreman's
it's where you have to
favorite.
reassess some things. You got to make some business decisions.
One more from our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line before we hit break. Believer, thank you for rephrasing. I made you sit on it, and you asked it in a much more polite fashion the second time, so we will get to your question here. Is it just me, or does Nebraska seem more organized and systematic?
They seem calmer. The communication, I was talking to Rashawn a bit ago, he was talking about that there was less yelling going on in the drills than he was comfortable with. But I thought that would mean that you are communicating, things are happening as they should, and not as much corrective, oh my goodness, what are you doing? What do you see? Sometimes it's just reaffirmation. Good job, Austin. That you saw it. Good. Good job, Jay. Right place. Good edge set. You made it simple for us. So sometimes the calmness tells you things are in order, that you're not seeing a thing that you're panicked by. And then the other side of it is, if there was chaos happening, calm defeats it. Calm beats it. So bravo to that.
We'll go to break on that note. Just got text from Jay. He'll be here about 4:45. Got caught up in some traffic and some business. But until then, DP and I will hold down the fort. It's Old School, brought to you by the Mercado. More Husker football and general football talk straight ahead.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Make this your best football season yet with help from Limitless Mail. If you're struggling with low energy, muscle loss, brain fog, belly fat, mood swings, it's likely low testosterone, and Limitless Mail can fix that. We've helped over 100,000 men feel stronger, leaner, sharper, and more like themselves again. Don't sit on the sidelines this season. Take control. Book your free consult today at limitlessmail.com. That's limitlessmail.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine, and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help you find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Hey fans, there's more winning at Amigos with the VIP Game Day giveaway. Every app scan is your chance to win premium tickets to a Nebraska football, basketball, and volleyball game, along with exclusive game day perks. And when Nebraska goes to a bowl, the winner also gets 2 tickets, lodging, and airfare to the bowl game. Weekly semifinalists will win free food for a year. Go Big Red. Eat at Amigos and enter to win.
Amigos is celebrating 45 years with exclusive Nebraska Legends collectible cups featuring Tom Osborne, John Cook, and some of your favorite Huskers. For every cup sold, 50 cents goes to teammates. Show your Big Red pride by getting all 4 of these collectible cups at Amigos.
This is Tom Osborne with the Teammates Mentoring Program. We have students on the waiting list for a mentor. We want you to join the team. Learn more about mentoring and support teammates by visiting Amigos.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone and Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln with more exciting news for area car buyers.
Charlie, it's just announced that Honda of Lincoln has won 3 of the Lincoln Journal-Star's Lincoln Choice Awards: Best New Car Dealer, Best Auto Repair, and Best Place to Get Your Oil Changed.
Wow, that's great, Andy. Anything else?
Yes, we were runner-up for Best Pre-Owned Dealer and Best Tire Dealer. A lot of people don't understand that we do sell tires here.
Very exciting, Andy. Why do you think your dealership is winning so many awards?
Charlie, we simply say it's the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business.
Looks like Honda of Lincoln is the great news headquarters for Lincoln.
Yes, and even all of Nebraska, we are also announcing that Honda of Lincoln's the only dealer in the state of Nebraska to win the prestigious Honda President's Award for 2024.
Honda of Lincoln, Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Make this your best football season yet with help from Limitless Mail. If you're struggling with low energy, muscle loss, brain fog, belly fat, mood swings, it's likely low testosterone, and Limitless Mail can fix that. We've helped over 100,000 men feel stronger, leaner, sharper, and more like themselves again. Don't sit on the sidelines this season. Take control. Book your free consult today at limitlessmail.com. That's limitlessmail.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Nebraska football opens their season on Thursday, August 28th in Kansas City, and you can be a part of the best pregame tailgate party with Blur Events, live from Kauffman Stadium, home of the Royals. Doors open 4 hours before kickoff with a live DJ promoting interactive competitions and giveaways, tailgate games like cornhole, flip cup, and beer pong, access to ballpark concessions, and available air conditioning. Book your tickets today at blurevents.com/Kansas City and hang with 93.7 The Ticket on the scene prior to Nebraska versus Cincinnati on August 28th.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Back to old school with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rolling right along on Old School. Austin and DP with you, 402-464-5685. If you want to be a part of the show, another important number for you to know is 402-430-3852. That's the number for you to call Heartland of Nebraska Windows. You could also visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. What do they offer? Free estimates, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and lifetime warranties on everything. They're still able to keep their prices affordable as well. They're locally and family owned with their own team of installers out of Hallam, Nebraska. Big thanks to them for their sponsorship of this segment of the show. DP, we are wrapping up summer content as we move into fall football season, real football to talk about as early as this weekend with Farmageddon over in Dublin. But I did think this was interesting. I was hoping Jay would be in. Maybe we can catch him at the tail end of the conversation. The best NFL team, not franchise, not who's had the best 20th century, but the best single season team of the 2000s. Off the top of your head, who would you go with?
Patriots.
07 Patriots?
The best version of it.
Because we're not talking about just like the best franchise. We're talking about the best single
team.
Single team.
Single season or single team?
Well, single season, I guess, by a team. Right. So I guess given the way you normally process, does it have to be a Super Bowl champion for you? Because if so, those 07 Patriots, they're gone.
Well, but here's the thing. I'm also a member of the club that would say you still have to have that discussion. Because
they were that good.
They were that good.
Okay.
Let's see.
The winner of an online poll from
No. Here's the thing. We are one Marshawn Lynch 1-yard run from saying Seattle was on the verge of a real change the NFL run.
I think they did change the NFL, but they only had one ring to show for it.
Well,
that Gus Bradley cover 3 Legion of Boom, that was legitimately game changing for the NFL.
I thought just in that run, in that space, that they had an opportunity because they would have kept that group together, and there would have been less finger pointing. The Ravens, again, it's another run, right? But
what was the best team in that run? That's the question.
The 12
Super
Ravens. Bowls? The ones that, I mean, listen, the way they were playing at the end of the year, I'm not sure there's a better team than that Ravens team. Because the run they went on, remember, they went on the road and just beat up physical teams and then just stretched out the New York Giants in a Super Bowl.
2000 did that? Because 2012 was the Harbaugh Bowl.
Well, I thought I liked the earlier version of the Ravens more than the 2012. I'm still going to lean heavily. You almost have to give one of the Patriots teams credit because they kept so many consistencies in 3 of the best teams in the 25 years.
There were lots of Patriots options here on this team, this bracket. Okay. The 2014 Patriots went 12-4 in the regular season and won the Super Bowl.
Okay.
You had the 2016 Patriots 14-2 that won the Super Bowl. 2004 Patriots 14-2 Super Bowl champions as well. Then the top right portion of the bracket featured the 2001 Patriots that won 11-5 Super Bowl champs, and the 2007 undefeated regular season teams that fell to the Giants in the Super Bowl. So lots of Patriots representation, but the winner, according to fans, again, this is just a fan vote, but a group of writers selected the initial group of 32 teams. The winner, according to the fans, DP, was the 2013 Seahawks, the team that actually paid it off.
Yeah, again, if one play call, and that's a thing, right? That plays in, the Washington Super Bowl back-to-back year where a repeated play call sets the tone for the best offensive team in NFL history to lose to the Raiders, right? It was a collapse based on you called a play that beat that same Raiders team previously in the regular season. You just went back to it one time too many.
They scouted it. They got you.
Listen, Jack Swire said, you get me once, you can get me twice. The Seahawks portion of it, the only thing about that team is that they lost some games throughout the year that were you just want to shake your head at.
3 regular season losses.
Like,
for
what
him.
do you like? What were you doing? I still want to lean on that 2004 Patriots team.
Okay.
For whatever reason, that seemed to feel like if that had been done well the year before, the year after, that's a run that's just untouched. It's still pretty close. It's still pretty close to that. And on the other side of it, I'm not sure there are many teams that are better than last year's Eagles team as it was playing. Like, you want to talk, like, you would match that defense up with any of the great defenses, Ravens, Patriots, or otherwise, right? Seahawks.
So funny enough, that 2024 Eagles team from last year ended up in the Final Four, but the fan vote gave the nod to the 2013 Seahawks.
Yeah, which I'm not sure they're both same-ish, right?
The Final Four, the Seahawks and the Eagles, 13 Seahawks, 24 Eagles, 2007 Patriots, and 2019 Chiefs. So year 2, I believe, is the starter for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and we have to be fair to Kansas City. Like, we have to be fair to them because this is a run. Like, this is a great run.
But they're doing the New England thing where they adapt, where the early teams were all offense, the more recent teams have been enough offense, but led by the defense. Kind of the inverse of what the Patriots did, started with defense and running game, and then morphed into the Brady show.
Why don't we give the Rams more credit? The Kurt Warner Rams.
Is
the
it
greatest
because
show
of
on turf.
Is it because of Kurt Warner?
Is it because are we devaluing the defense?
Probably somewhat.
Right? That there were no stars. Like, there were great players on that Rams team, but that was an offensive team.
Would you take the greatest show on turf Rams or pick a year from Peyton's Colts?
Well, offensively, I loved all of the Peyton Colts. Like, it was just easy to love. And I loved the Freeney,
Mathis, Cato June,
right? Like, you had
Bob Sanders,
but yeah, Bob Sanders, apex Bob Sanders,
nasty Hawkeye
was in the Ed Reed neighborhood, which is speaking like the Polamalu era of safeties that just wrecked the NFL. So to have safeties that played that way when there was so much activity going down and they had to sheriff the middle of the field, Sean Taylor, like those folks, you have to give those credit. Like, you have to give those credit for those offenses that still said, screw it. Marvin Harrison saying, okay, fine, I'm going to go. Torrey Hope. Hey, I'm going to go down here. I don't belong down here. This ain't my neighborhood.
Harrison and Wayne or Bruce and Holt?
Say it again.
Who are you taking? Harrison and Wayne or Bruce or Holt for your
Harrison Wayne? Yeah. I love the Rams offense. But I just, there were nights where I watched Marvin Harrison do some things in bad traffic, just in bad. And Reggie Wayne, listen, he was a great stretcher, but the Rams did it. The Colts used a tight end. The Rams, it wasn't as sexy, but it certainly stretched it. All of that era for 25 years, and it's such a wide range of styles of play that we get caught up in quarterback numbers. But I think I look at those teams. Those teams that pop for me were defensive teams. That you could stand up to those run and catch offenses, and then in the slugfest, why I love the Ravens was that they could defend the passing game, get stretched, but then when it came time to fatten your neck and shut down Eddie George on 3rd and 2, they did it. Like, it was
the same outlet did a piece specifically on the Ravens, because you have that 2000 team, you have the Flacco Super Bowl team, and now you have the Lamar Jackson team, and just the job that Newsom was able to do with that expansion franchise to keep it relatively competitive the whole time, have Super Bowl contenders pretty much throughout, in the evolution of the game, where that you've been able to track the changes in the NFL kind of by watching the Ravens to some degree.
Yeah, but the Ravens are the last bastion of old NFL football. In that, we still, what Lamar's doing in the passing game is not a traditional passing game. This is not the spread them out run 6 route combinations in 6 consecutive plays. No, this is I got a downhill runner behind me. If you get too greedy and chase him, I'm going to bust you up, right? I'm going to bust you up with my feet, or I can throw the dime over the top.
Mm-hmm.
That's unique. We don't have another Raven. Like Flacco was not an exception. Like he wasn't just flinging it around. Trent Dilfer wasn't just flinging it around. His best offensive receiver was Sharp catching deflections and taking them to the house, right? Like you had, they had a 2,000-yard rusher for crying out loud, right? How many of these teams? The Eagles represented that in the slug. Hey, I can just slug it out with you. And I happen to have a guy that if you get too greedy and stack the box too tight, who can get over the top.
Did you know Trent Dilfer only started half the Ravens games in the Super Bowl year?
Well, that was a Tony Banks team. That was a Tony Banks team. And there was still discussion over what would have happened to that team if Tony Banks had stayed healthy that year.
Well, Banks went 5-3 as the starter. Dilfer went 7-1. Now that's everything.
But Banks had two losses that you just went, bruh. Like a change had to be made. So I liked it. Remember, we forget how much evolution happened in New England. That the Bledsoe Patriots were a defensive team. It was Bledsoe's job. Look, don't screw this up. Make a play when we need it, but don't screw it up. And then Brady comes along. Hey, man, make a play when we need you, but don't screw this up. Don't screw this up. It wasn't until Super Bowl III that Brady went, this is my team.
I can do stuff.
I'm going to do stuff. Right? It's the thing. And then Moss comes along and changes everything. And Brady's like, hey, I like this throwing the football thing. This is, hey, man, I can take some of the pressure off of you defensively if you let me throw the ball a little bit. So it's evolved.
Do you remember who Jamal Lewis's backup was for that 2000 Ravens Super Bowl team?
Oh, no. So they had Quadri Israel.
He's better known for a different AFC team. Right after he left the Ravens, he was a 3-time consecutive first-team All-Pro player.
Shut up.
Offensive Player of the Year in the second year in 2002.
Why does this not?
It was Priest Holmes.
It was
Priest
in fact,
Holmes,
Priest.
the 4-year backup to start his career in Baltimore.
That is
and then goes on
spectacular.
a legendary 3.5-year run
That is
with Kansas City.
That is spectacular. And you think about who was KC's running back before Priest?
Would that have been Nigerian Nightmare? Was that Okoye?
No. Yeah, like they had a run.
Welcome, Jay.
They had a run because Priest got bounced around, which for a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
But there was a run where the Chiefs just had Barry Word. They had Okoye, power football, and who was the other? They had another Texas runner, kind of long-legged.
Well, they had Derek Johnson or whatever.
Yeah.
From
leading rusher the year before he got there would have been Tony Richardson.
And then they moved him to fullback.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cubsker's right.
He got paid back.
We missed the Steelers in the conversation. We missed the Steelers' evolution through the 2000s.
The 2005 Steelers Super Bowl champions made it as a 7 seed. They were beat in the fan vote by the 2002 Buccaneers.
Ew, no.
And that is the only Steelers second only Steelers representation. The other Steelers team, the 2008 team that won the Super Bowl for Mike Tomlin with 12-4 regular season.
Jay, if Pete Carroll hands the ball to Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, the whole league is different.
2 years like that.
The league is. I mean, Tom Brady doesn't end up in Tampa. That means they don't beat the Rams afterwards, right?
That 17-3 or 13-3 Super Bowl.
That gives Bill Belichick the authority to run with Jimmy Garoppolo. Bill Belichick's not at North Carolina.
Yeah.
The Patriots are not thought of as the Patriots. There's two Super Bowls. I mean, it changes the league. I mean, the people don't realize, like, one play, one call, one decision can change the landscape of not only franchises, but it also changes the landscape of other guys' career.
Theismann before halftime throwing against the Raiders, the best offensive team in NFL history. If he doesn't throw the lob, squiring, the Redskins go on a 4-year Super Bowl run, and there's nothing anybody can do.
You're not talking about the Patriots. You're talking about the Redskins. You change the landscape of the league. It's no
Steve Young, Elway's career changes.
Let's press pause. Let's come back to this to wrap up hour 2 of Old School.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier power sports dealership. Stocking top models from Can-Am, Kawasaki, Honda, Polaris, CF Moto, Suzuki, Yamaha, Indian Motorcycle, Sea-Doo, and Triton trailers. Score big on our massive selection of Can-Am side-by-sides with rebates up to $3,000 on select in-stock models. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered all under one roof with a large selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, motorcycles, and personal watercraft at their 27th and I-80 location. They can't wait to get you set up for football season.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today.
Looking to upgrade your equipment and keep cash in your pocket? Through August at Landmark Implement, get up to a 24-month waiver on select John Deere tractors and combines. Or lock in a 1.9% fixed rate for 36 months, followed by 6.2% interest fixed for up to another 36 months. When planning for this year's harvest, we've got a solution that works for your bottom line. Visit your Landmark Implement today and check us out at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Advanced Medical Imaging is hosting their 3rd annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk on October 11th at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. Hear inspiring stories from survivors, enjoy local food truck vendors, a live DJ, and other family-friendly activities as we unite to bring awareness about breast cancer. Check-in begins at 8:30 a.m. with the walk starting at 9. Register your team today for Advanced Medical Imaging's 3rd annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk online at amimaging.com. Let's walk for those we've lost, for those still fighting, and for a future without breast cancer.
Nebraska football opens their season on Thursday, August 28th in Kansas City, and you can be a part of the best pregame tailgate party with Blur Events, live from Kauffman Stadium, home of the Royals. Doors open 4 hours before kickoff with a live DJ promoting interactive competitions and giveaways. Tailgate games like cornhole, flip cup, and beer pong, access to ballpark concessions, and available air conditioning. Book your tickets today at blurevents.com/Kansas City and hang with 93.7 The Ticket on the scene prior to Nebraska versus Cincinnati on August 28th.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wrapping up hour 2 of Old School, let's just pick up that conversation right from where we left off. Actually, with a text from our Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line. Resident Packers fan Mississippi Mud Dog says, you guys want to talk about one play changing things? Seahawks don't even make that Super Bowl if Brandon Bostic doesn't drop the onside kick in the NFC Championship game.
That is 100% factual, and a couple bad calls for the Packers defense. Pass interference and a couple deep routes that were not pass interference. Home cooking. Brandon Bostic, never try to catch it, just get on the ball.
Well, he had to jump for it.
I know, but
he's going right through his hands.
But you either I've been in that position. Here's two things you do. The worst thing you can do is overextend to catch it. That's the worst thing you can do because you're going to get hit, you're going to fumble it, and go right back to him. You either knock it out of bounds or you hit it down and get on it.
I would love to do a whole series of big plays, right, in Super Bowl history or playoff history, but the play before the play that actually sets that thing up. I was thinking about this, your dad's Viking team, and everybody goes to the Drew Pearson catch.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a play before that your dad made. Yeah. That set that whole thing up, and you go.
Well, you think about the Amir Abdullah catch and stretch for the first down against Northwestern that sets up the Hail Mary to Westerkamp. It was on fourth down.
I mean, it's no different. Every big play is generally set up by, within 2 or 3 plays prior, offensively, defensively, special teams. And there's something that happens, whether it's a call or it's a big first down or a drive before that leads to, the kind of like the snowball effect and you get the momentum. I mean, this especially in college, it's a game of momentum. How you get the game, start the momentum your way, and then how you, stop the momentum from the other team usually, leads to, who's going to win. And
penalty on a kickoff return. That it wasn't a penalty.
I mean, there's a ton of things.
Dan from Canby throws out another Vikings one. Anderson's missed field goal at the Cunningham, Moss, Carter, Reed Smith team.
That's an undefeated team, right? A one-loss
15-1. Yeah. He hadn't. That made it worse that he hadn't missed a field goal all year.
Yeah,
it was a chip shot and just a little bit of a hook left.
Stunned.
Yeah, but it's all set up.
Forward offsides against the Patriots.
Well, but if Norwood makes that kick, if Norwood makes that kick, you don't change football. Mm-hmm. Changes Buffalo forever.
Yeah.
If Theismann doesn't break up the interception to AJ Dewey, Riggins' run never happens.
Yeah.
He literally, AJ Dewey is going to pick off Theismann and walk in the end zone off a batted ball. 2-score lead. Theismann defends it. They go on the drive, and Riggins caps the deal.
Yeah, D Ford, every time he's in the shower, looks at down at his probably left foot and his big toe and is like, dang.
Why?
Or the linebacker from Cincinnati that hit Patrick Mahomes. Well, I mean, I thought it was a hustle play out of bounds. I mean, that's
that sideline play. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then also when Baker Mayfield, when he brought his Cleveland Browns into Arrowhead, didn't get a couple first downs, a couple pass interference calls. I mean, my Buffalo Bills against those Kansas City Chiefs, 13 seconds left. You don't win championships without being tested. If you don't win championship without a little bit of luck.
Here's my favorite one, and it's one of my first football memories, but it's of Earl Morrall not throwing the ball to Jimmy Orr as he stood empty in the end zone.
Dang.
Bare naked, just standing in the end zone, and everybody. So much so the FBI called and said, "We have to investigate Earl Morrall. Let's see what he threw the game."
When the Denver Broncos played the Cowboys in the mid '80s, and the tight end for the Broncos, I think he was number 86, dropped a wide open touchdown pass, and that started Dallas onto the run.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
It's the little moments that turn into big moments. Let's go to break.
It's so good.
Hour 3 of Old School comes your way in just a moment. Don't forget 402-464-5685. If you have a moment in either NFL history or Husker history that was the moment before the moment, let us know. I'm sure we can keep talking about that in Hour 3.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Oerman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Looking to upgrade your equipment and keep cash in your pocket? Through August at Landmark Implement, get up to a 24-month waiver on select John Deere tractors and combines. Or lock in a 1.9% fixed rate for 36 months, followed by 6.2% interest fixed for up to another 36 months. When planning for this year's harvest, we've got a solution that works for your bottom line. Visit your Landmark Implement today and check us out at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Advanced Medical Imaging is hosting their third annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk on October 11th at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. Hear inspiring stories from survivors, enjoy local food truck vendors, a live DJ, and other family-friendly activities as we unite to bring awareness about breast cancer. Check-in begins at 8:30 a.m. with the walk starting at 9. Register your team today for Advanced Medical Imaging's third annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk online at amimaging.com. Let's walk for those we've lost, for those still fighting, and for a future without breast cancer. Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovebneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today. Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
No cravings, no hunger pains, no struggle. Thanks to GLP-1s from Limitless Mail, weight loss is possible. Picture this. Your clothes fit better, your energy's up, your doctor's impressed, and your friends start noticing. Limitless Mail's GLP-1 program is medically monitored and changing men's lives. There's no better time than now to get on board. Lose the weight, better your health, gain your confidence without being hungry. Free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Oerman. Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Hour 3, Old School, Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Oerman. We are brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Andermatt / Old Cheney, and 168th and Maple. Talking all things sports, I guess franchise, university, game-changing decisions or plays that live in infamy. It always happens. It always happens also in Little League or high school. You see all that. Sometimes you see the YouTube videos of, there's 2 seconds left. They throw a bomb. It goes off a guy's helmet. Guy catches it and scores. I mean, heck, you got to think of, in 97, granted, I always tell people it was third down. So we would have probably scored on fourth, but the Matt Davidson catch and obviously led us to, that was our wake up call of going on and winning the national championship. And it's no different than Michigan on the other side that was able to split, with the, them being able to beat Ohio State, which was probably controversial. And then probably, the Washington State game was probably even more controversial on how they were able to get that. But nevertheless, when you were able to pull through, whether creating your own luck or taking advantage of the luck that is given to you, you definitely got to be Johnny on the spot and take advantage of it.
I know we're talking primarily about the on the field moments, but what if the Colts had stuck by Peyton? 2 years after the neck surgery, he's thrown for 55 touchdowns.
You're absolutely right. Quarterback displacement changes. It used to be running backs. If you got rid of a running back, you burned him too early. You thought you had burned him out, and then he goes somewhere else. But that quarterback thing, I have to ask Jay, why do so many teams get it wrong?
Well, because you do the comparison thing. One team drafts a guy maybe later, or I guess in some cases before, he pops early. Then you start to look at your guy that you drafted, and forget why you drafted him, and forget that you didn't surround him with good pieces. And quarterbacks every year you'll hear it. This guy's a franchise quarterback. You didn't hear it much this year, but still there was guys. Cam Ward. Obviously, at times people thought Shedeur Sanders. Now you got Jackson Dart and all those guys. Now they're franchise quarterbacks, and next year it'll be another 4 or 5 guys as franchise quarterback, so forth and so on. They're almost, as much as they're replaceable, they're not replaceable. I think guys that evaluate them don't really focus in on the things you need the most. And I remember Bill Parcells was talking about what he wants from a quarterback, and number one is intangibles. Are you, do you have a natural ability to lead? Can you deal with adversity? How much are you invested in being the best that you can be? Do you play the game the right way? That means getting the first downs and having high completion percentage. Don't turn the ball over. First thing you hear in the NFL draft, arm strength, moxie, and all this other stuff that don't mean anything. So I think that's a position that where you miss more than you hit. And primarily it's because they do a lot. They spend more time trying to lie to themselves and talk themselves into drafting a guy or signing a guy. This and sometimes in college's case, versus looking at, all right, is he good or not? What's the situation, and how can we accentuate or really, really empower him to be the best he can be by focusing on his strengths?
Is at your position, you think about linebacker play, and that veterans hold it down, but there are guys, Bobby Wagner, Fred Dean, Ted Hendricks, Ken Norton Jr. You get bounced around. Why does the second team make it easier for success? Like, why does that happen?
Linebacker position they don't have fullbacks anymore, but linebacker, is a position that you can move guys that maybe aren't as fleet as foot or a little bit shorter from safety down to linebacker. Obviously, put him in the weight room, and then obviously now he's a fast linebacker, right? Jamal Adams is what I'm thinking right now with the Raiders.
You're excited about that one?
I mean, if they keep him, I think he could be a weapon, because you really, really limit his deficiencies as far as coverage ability. You make him a really good coverage linebacker and blitzer as well. I think when you see guys, I think a lot of times when you think about Fred Dean and Ted Hendricks, and I would say this is way back in the history, I think that's schematic. Obviously, really. And this
Matt Millen.
Yes, with the Raiders. The Raiders were the first version of the Patriots.
Villapiano.
They would go get guys that maybe didn't really hit, really play to their draft status at other teams. And like, you know what? They're trying to get him to do something that he's not good at. You just need to do this here. That's why Matt Millen and Hacksaw Reynolds and stuff like that play with the 49ers, because of his leadership ability. Wasn't fleet of foot, but what he had to do is lead and play the run. Same with Fred Dean. Let him play defensive end. Ends up going to Pro Bowls and obviously part of Super Bowl teams. Ted Hendricks as well. Myself, it was just that, we were drafted late, whether it's a deep class or, that you just get drafted where you get drafted, and then you got to, do what you got to do. I would like to think, for you, Austin, one of my favorite, I guess, co-draftees, I guess, as you would say, is Mike Peterson and Joey Porter. We all outperformed where we were drafted.
Mm-hmm.
There was a significant amount of guys drafted before those two who were drafted before me So it's even double when you think mine. And you're able to do that. Now it's just it's position flexibility, like how focused and entrenched you are to be the best you can be, and then, obviously you need an opportunity. But then I would say this, when you're drafted in, I think Mike Peterson was second round. Joey was third. When you're drafted late in the fifth round, you get one opportunity. They might get two or three, and obviously depends on the franchise. And I think also you got to go to really good franchises that drafted you to draft you. Sometimes you see teams draft guys and have no intention of keeping them. They're like, "Oh, we need a corner. Let's just draft a corner," and they don't.
That was like Monty Coleman. They
have no idea, but they have no intentions of keeping him.
Yeah, special teams guy. If he makes it, he's going to have to outwork everybody.
Yeah, but even at that, like the Redskins at the time with Monty Coleman kind of had a plan for him. All right, you're a special teams guy until you get better at defense. In this day and age, or at least maybe prior to now, because of the way the cap and the draft is, but like after I retired and say up until this last CBA, teams would draft guys late sometimes, or sometimes even like in the third round, and they have no intentions or a plan for him to be successful. Whereas the teams that have consistently been successful, round 1 through 7, and prior to 7 rounds, when they had 13, 14 rounds, they were drafting guys and rolling the ball out there and coaching every single one of them
for a reason, with a purpose, with a plan.
And that's where you get guys that hit or miss. I always talk about David Carr. David Carr has a lot of what ifs. What if Tony Baselli and Ryan Young, who was supposed to be the bookend tackles for the first part of his career, played? What if one of them played? What if not only did we draft Andre Johnson, obviously a few years later, what if we had, I don't know, somebody traded for somebody earlier? What if he had a year that where, kind of like with the Cleveland Browns, started Kent Graham, who was a 10-year veteran or something like that at the time. Game 4, here comes David Carr. What if? What if you don't blow up the defense to keep your job? If you just say, we're going to bring back the defense as we got back, now we got one more year to run it back. What does that do for that franchise? Now, it eventually worked out, but are you further along when you get Gary Kubiak and then after that, Bill O'Brien? And so the league is built on circumstances. If Mo Lewis doesn't destroy Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady isn't an international. I wouldn't say that. It doesn't work that way. It's the perfect storm. Then Tom Brady took it to the next level. The Patriots were okay with it, and Tom Brady was the ultimate team. But what if Tom Brady says, "You know what? I'm mad that I had to play with or behind Drew Henson. I had to play behind Drew Bledsoe because he thought he was better than Drew Bledsoe as a rookie. And then I was a 6th-round draft choice, and the first contract I signed was below market value. Now I want to go to the highest bidder."
Just don't go to a team with another quarterback named Drew.
Well, no, it's not only that. If you do not continue to work directly with Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick to make sure the team is better by you understanding, I'm still one of the top four or five paid, but I also make so much money off the field, which then allows me to do other things in the offseason. Or do I go to, let's just say at that time, he goes to the Cincinnati Bengals and he gets a record-setting deal, but then he's not even getting a meal in the morning.
What does that do to Carson Palmer?
I thought you were going to say Colts.
Just any team. What if Tom Brady decides to go to whoever was quarterback needy and signs for some crazy deal? They don't go on that run.
Yeah.
Then they might not go get Rodney Harrison. Then all these other guys that benefited off of it. Now, granted, they're all great players. I'm not saying that, but you don't have a team with Hall of Famers like Richard Seymour, Ty Law, Rodney Harrison should get in. Logan Mankins should probably get in. Obviously, you were able to go get Randy Moss at the, where you felt like you had to get more explosive. You don't do that if a circumstance doesn't happen, a chance, an opportunity is there. A guy not only takes that opportunity, he doesn't walk in the door. He kicks open that door and starts knocking fools off. And then he continues to have the want and the focus and the competitiveness to not only make it, but then continue to get better. And then on top of it, here's also what's funny. And you see this sometimes you see it in the NBA, you see it in the NFL, you see it in the MLB, is that as a lower like round draft choice or comes up in the farm system in baseball or Jeremy Lin or something like that, kind of these stories, sometimes these franchises be like, all right, that's enough. We're done with that. We've hit our maximum, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots said, you know what? We're going to ride this thing until we can't ride it more. Yeah, Belichick said, you know what? Let's drop him off here. And Robert Kraft said, no, I think we have another mini run in us. So
we're going to see it through.
We're going to see it through, not once, but twice. Because he tried to trade or he tried to get rid of Brady, whether not signing him or trading twice. Not once, but
not
twice.
Once, but twice.
But told him no. It's all right now. Guess what? Now Tom's we're gonna do right by Tom. But then eventually that put the clock on Belichick real quick. So, but it's 20 years of dominance. Those are the chin. I mean, also, what if Nick Saban wins 2 more games that year that they went on the run with the Dolphins? What if they signed Drew Brees and not Dante Culpepper? He doesn't go to Bama. There might not be Kirby Smart. There might not be your boy Mel Tucker. Everybody's getting paid $9-10 million a year off of. Now,
Lane's rehab back probably doesn't go that well. Sarkisian's rehab probably doesn't go that well.
Bill O'Brien. I mean, he went down there, took an offensive coordinator, which you would have never thought that he would have coached in college. He went down there, was an offensive coordinator, Bryce Young, and then he parlayed that into Ohio State for 2 months. Probably he played first and last month's rent. All right. Yeah, I'm going to have to get out of this lease. Then I'm going to go to Boston. That fits him perfectly. Greg Schiano. If he doesn't get so focused on the, what's that dive thing he used to do down at 10, where you
on the kneel down. Yeah.
And then he tried to, all the thing with Revis and all this other stuff. He doesn't do that. You never know where he's at.
What if Chip Kelly never leaves for the NFL?
The first time. But I think all these things that we're talking about were set up by the success and hard work. It's just that who makes these decisions, and how they move forward. I mean, DP, you know this. How quick the Redskins got rid of Marty Schottenheimer when he had them on the right track. What if the Charlie Casserly decides not to sign one of the guys, Sean Gilbert or Big Daddy Wilkinson, to stupid deals, or not draft Heath Schuler, the running quarterback?
That changed. That's the one that changed it. But that's the one that. Well, the two that changed it. One, Desmond Howard. Two, Heath Schuler.
Yeah.
Like, come on. You went. You had the posse, and you had guys like Walter Stanley sitting in the lurk, right? Like you had an all-pro caliber receiver, kick returner sitting there waiting for one of the posse to move along so you can do the thing. You could have went with Stephen Hobbs. Like you could have done some things. Instead, you went and spent all your money up middle because in the NFC East, that's what you were doing. You had Reggie White and company setting the tone for what the Eagles were going to do. The Cowboys were thick in the middle. The Giants were thick in the middle. We got to get thick in the middle. San Francisco showed us the way. Let's go do that. Swing and miss.
Yeah. And
so what happened with Marty out in DC? What was up with that? I honestly didn't know
Marty
that.
just rubbed the wrong way. I thought that it's kind of the thing that happened here
all the time.
Yeah, it's kind of the thing that happened here with Nebraska coaches, that you get, you're 11 win guy, but we don't really like you. You're not all shucks like Joe, right? Joe Gibbs is all shucks, pat him on the back. The guys loved him. He knew all the right people in the right circles. Marty would go home and spend time with his son and his family. Hey, that's not DC football. We weren't going to do it. And it wasn't sexy. The mishandling, the Sean Taylor thing, certainly in play. That was a big part of it. You did not have a star quarterback. Brad Johnson wasn't going to be what you wanted him to be. Because, again, the two biggest faces were all shucks guys. And Schottenheimer would not put Sean Taylor out front, which is what everybody wanted.
Yeah. And then also you got to think when at the time, they were the Redskins when they went with Steve Spurrier. And then they signed, and all that stuff. And so
was terrible.
It was, there's a lot of things that go on in the franchises that, you got to think the Herschel Walker trade is probably besides now the Luka trade. I think that's the biggest trade in sports history. You built the Cowboys to what they are now. That's the trade.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Jones doesn't get a documentary off of that because he didn't win any Super Bowls.
Right.
You're not able to go hire Barry Switzer and say, man, you just show up on Sundays and everybody else a coach and you get a Super Bowl. You're just not able to do that. If Minnesota doesn't bite on the Herschel Walker trade and trade all their draft picks and really good players.
For a dude.
Should they have kept Randall?
The Vikings?
Yeah.
That's another thing. Where when you really
play at that level,
when you think of the way that the NFL and just sports in general, now drafting a player that looks like Randall Cunningham and plays like him is no big deal. And it's a big deal because it's essentially Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm. They had not seen
it. Let's just say this. Say somebody decides actually to stop trying to tell Bill Polian saying he needed to play receiver. The Ravens with Ozzie Newsome. No, we're going to let you be quarterback. You picked a Hall of Fame quarterback at 30. I think it was 30 or 30, whatever you got. It was the last pick in the draft, right? Or the first round.
Yeah.
Just think about it. Just think of all the teams that needed a quarterback that draft before Lamar Jackson. Those are franchise changing decisions. Those are
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, those are you go from, let's say you're the assistant GM that somehow gets the power authority to draft Lamar Jackson, DaCosta with the the Ravens, and then next thing you know, you're the GM guru. Bill Polian, the architect behind the Bills, he goes into Carolina, does that, and then he parlays that into the Colts. He picks Peyton Manning, the Marshall Faulk trade. He's on ESPN until he gets a little too loose-lipped after a couple drinks of whiskey. That's essentially where it's at.
Us?
You think about Carolina that you go from expansion with Kerry Collins to the NFC Championship game, and then you bail for Steve Berline and get lucky with Jake Delhomme. You weren't. Yeah. That was not planned
because he was with the Saints.
Before, yeah, he was with the Saints. That wasn't planned. They wouldn't stay with what they were doing. They wouldn't stay with it. Kerry off the field. Kerry was all 100% off the field. Berline did everything that he could. And then for Delhomme, it was the perfect storm. And you say sometimes organizations get lucky. Sometimes they get it right. Some of those times, a lot of times, they swung and missed. They absolutely.
Yeah, the quarterback position, I think, maybe is kind of like major league pitcher. You know how many guys thought they were going to be from Strasburg or something is going to be the next Roger Clemens. Now, granted, injuries,
David Clyde.
Injuries or Kerry Wood or something like that. It's supposed to be the next Roger Clemens. Yep. And you just you got to have longevity. You got to stay healthy. But quarterback position, man. You remember Dan McGuire?
Mm-hmm.
He was 6'10"
in the NFL.
He played at San Diego State.
Quarterback.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of those McGuires.
Rick Meyer.
Yeah.
From Notre Dame was supposed to be Joe Montana.
Todd Marinovich.
Yeah, but that's off.
Okay, that
field, right? Yeah, it's all. All these dudes. Remember, what's the dude that Jake Druckenmiller, whatever his name?
Jim Druckenmiller from Virginia Tech.
6'5".
Shout out Nate Brennan getting married this weekend, by the way.
Yeah,
how about it?
Shout out to Nate Brennan out kicking his coverage.
We all did.
Yeah, but Nate Brennan outkicked his kick out the stadium.
Yeah.
He hit it
Yeah.
He did a Josh Allen throwing the ball.
She let him hit off a tee.
Josh Allen what?
Throwing the ball over the
Oh yeah.
Over the stands.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's tough, man. I mean, now that we think about it, that Music City Miracle, man. When I would never forget. I was like, yeah, man, it's on next week. I was like, yeah, we run down a kick. I was like, yeah, I'm running down a kickoff. I'm knocking somebody's head smooth off.
You had 15,000 good reasons to do it too.
Yeah. I was like, oh, 15 G's?
Can I ask you who's the worst quarterback you played against in the NFL?
I was thinking about that. These dudes are so lucky.
Yeah. Like there's some dudes.
The quarterback play right now. It's and I'm not hating. I'm really not.
You're only answering the question.
These guys are garbage. I hate even saying it because I feel like anytime you make it to division or play football in college and then the pros, you're really, these guys are garbage. I mean, when you think the worst quarterback I can think of that I played against was like Vinny Testaverde and like late in his career, or like Jay Fiedler, and these dudes are playing, were they just dropping back and seeing you in a hook drop and throwing it right to you?
Yeah, you had you had Jake Plummer.
I mean, I guess you could have
said
had
Jake Plummer.
I guess you could say Joey Harrington, but that we didn't play him all the time.
Right.
Joey Harrington got a billboard in New York City.
Yeah, but we didn't get to play. I wasn't in the NFC North. I didn't get to play against him.
You didn't get to see him. Yeah.
I mean, I played.
Who were the quarterbacks in your division? So
Brady.
Yeah.
I got Marino a couple times.
Yeah.
/ Jay Fiedler.
Yeah.
And then Vinny Testaverde in the AFC East. There's no right.
You had over Sundays off.
And then, hold on. And then Peyton. Then I got Peyton as well.
Yeah.
They were there. Then
Brunell.
Then I go to Houston. You get Mark Brunell, Peyton, Steve McNair. You don't and then when you play like out of your division, you play Tom Brady, you play Jay Fiedler, and then say like then
you get Aikman.
Who you've had in Pittsburgh.
Then we get Jake Plummer when he's with Denver, and then we'll get
Did you get early Roethlisberger?
Yeah, Roethlisberger, Drew Brees,
Rivers.
Yeah, we got Philip. We got it. Hey, look,
we got Jay Cutler,
Smoking Jay.
We got everybody.
Oh, that's so good.
No days off. It
That's
wasn't.
so good.
No, then here's the best one. Fresh legs, Michael Vick. That was great. The fresh legs, Michael Vick.
You're playing
let me think of the more of the guys that we played that was just where these dudes are playing against Willie Lump.
Yep.
I mean, I guess Tim Couch. That was. I would say Tim Couch and Joey Harrington.
Keely Smith, if he got on.
We didn't get a Keely Smith.
Oh,
we got like Carson Palmer and those are good. Like we needed the dudes. We needed those guys, but as part of the league and the different and playing quarterback then was a lot different. The nuances and ability to play quarterback was at a premium.
Mm-hmm. Sir.
Yeah. So, anyways, that just revisionist history that just makes my stomach hurt.
No, but that's why we were talking literally last night, Bears Bills, and you talk about quarterback play and how lucky Buffalo has been. Like, but you forget the in between.
Yeah.
Like you get into
JP Lossman,
right? You
Peterman.
You forget. You go, wait a minute. That Flutie actually had a run. Like it's not just Jim Kelly, Josh Allen. It's everything in between. Yeah. You can talk about Peyton and Andrew Luck, but there's a lot of dudes in Indy that, quite frankly, make your head hurt.
Yeah. We'll take a quick break, come back. We'll talk about what it's like after.
But the Bears don't have any.
Hey, hey, that defensive meeting for the Buffalo Bills. We'll talk about that, what it's like after that. Jay Foreman, DP also. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Ah, the sounds of back to school time. Oh. There's plenty to about this time of year. So let Cane's take something off your plate by putting something on it. Like the most craveable hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. It's going to be a great school year.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today. Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: showers and storms likely this morning, then mainly sunny skies this afternoon. It'll be hot with a high near 94. Tonight, a chance of showers and storms, below around 71. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers and storms, otherwise mainly sunny with a high around 90. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Looking to upgrade your equipment and keep cash in your pocket? Through August at Landmark Implement, get up to a 24-month waiver on select John Deere tractors and combines, or lock in a 1.9% fixed rate for 36 months, followed by 6.2% interest fixed for up to another 36 months. When planning for this year's harvest, we've got a solution that works for your bottom line. Visit your Landmark Implement today and check us out at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Back to old school with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, old school. Real quick before we got a quick 7 minutes, then we'll be back on schedule. We're going to have people from AFN. They got a golf tournament come up. I think we're going to have a team here with the ticket. At least I'm going to have a team. Go out there and I'm going to at least have 4 people play, knock it around, provide some golf balls. But before that, Austin, it's pretty interesting when you think about sports in general. It's not only that. There's plenty of decisions that people probably – and I always say this, it's like when, you're talking about coaches or, coaches that worked out and don't. I'd like to think, our prior coaches, nobody takes jobs and says, you know what, I want to do a press conference, move my family here, and I'm going to try my hardest not to work. Or I'm going to be the GM or the decision maker or the owner of the Portland Trail Blazers, and I'm not going to take Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
You can't forecast, the things that happen. You got to make the best decision that you can make. And maybe Michael Jordan going to the Bulls is maybe, the reason why he's the greatest of all time. He gets the opportunity. The Bulls will go all in. They get rid of Reggie Theus. And eventually they get Phil Jackson after Doug Collins, who was great. And then Phil Jackson comes in and takes it to a whole nother level. Scottie Pippen doesn't end up there. So you just never know.
It's a crapshoot. It always is, right? You can look at all the athletic scores you want, all the production that you want. But there's a jump, Jay, from college to the pros, right?
Yeah.
From the best of the best from high school, get into college, and then get to the best of the best of the best to actually see the field.
Yeah.
And then the top 5% of that percent goes on to the NFL with new expectations, with new rules, with new dynamics and all of that. It's always a surprise when a surefire prospect doesn't hit, but maybe it shouldn't be a surprise with everything that goes into transitioning from college to the pros.
Everybody's human. And you just never know how somebody's going to react to friction or competition, adversity, or more importantly, in this day and time, I think. So the things I just said, friction, competition, adversity, that's how you really evaluated. That was a big deal back when I played because that's really how you learned. And that's what inspired people, right? Whether it's me being drafted late, Tom Brady being drafted late, Zach Thomas being drafted late, whatever it is, right? Now it's, how do these kids and young ladies deal with success? Because it's does it make you work harder? Does it make you kind of just chill? Or do you chill and learn your lesson? And when the light goes on that you maybe learn your lesson, that you continue to have to validate whatever accolades or paycheck that you got, do you still have the same opportunity to do so? Because as much as kids turn their page quick and go to other schools, coaches have to be callous enough to turn the page as well. And so it's a dynamic that's changed, and everybody always tries to pit, players from certain eras against certain players, and you just never know just because of the way, society changed, the society around like sports, how you can coach kids and girls is significantly different. It was different from when I played versus prior, and probably different, so forth and so on. There's a lot more knowledge and a lot more, thoughts on it, and how you I think the best coaches mix in old school mentality, because those are the teams that generally are the most physical, the most disciplined in this new age of college football.
We was this with Nick or was this with Bach? I think it was with Bach. We were talking about Ed Orgeron wanting back into college football, and I don't know what his mentality is, maybe slightly more on the old school side, but I had mentioned that, he wants back into coaching, but he probably wouldn't be, a fit out on the West Coast or up in the Northeast. He's probably the best fit in the general footprint of the SEC, whether that's, SEC assistant, whether it's Sun Belt head coach, anything like that. And the texter pushed back and said, well, didn't he go 6-2 as USC's interim? Well, yeah, he did, but then also didn't get a head coaching job after that, right? They didn't elevate him.
Yeah.
Just like he got elevated at LSU after Les Miles got fired after that 2-2 start to the season and everything going on down there. LSU kept him around, ended up winning the national championship game. And that's where, when you think about the culture of coaching, right? Culture and fit are such buzzwords, right? On the one hand, they mean a lot because I think people like to feel represented, to some degree in their head football coach. Oh, does he fit the culture? Does he fit in the community? Some of that you can manufacture to a degree. You can fake it a little bit, do the bare minimum. But the coaches that really get invested in the community are the beloved ones, right? But also, culture shouldn't matter that much. Either you're a good football coach or you're not.
Yeah.
Either you can communicate what you want your players to do or not. Either you can tell your players you care for them and get them to run through a brick wall for you, or you can't, right? So culture and fit matter, Except they don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of when you need it, then you really focus on it, and then when you don't, it needs to be just a known or a standard or just part of your DNA. I think Ed Orgeron can coach anywhere. Well, number one, I know he can recruit. Number one, he has to get the gap, and he's a really good recruiter, or at least was, right? And I know he was a position coach or a really good position coach and developer. I mean, he's coached, obviously Warren Sapp is obviously, a Hall of Fame player. He was able to, see the potential in the guys like Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. And obviously they're running the league right now from the wide receiver position. So I think an eye for talent, this is something that you naturally have, and you can develop it, but I think he naturally has it. And he also is a very good coach. So I think that him getting back into it wouldn't be a problem no matter where it's at. Now, I think obviously, I'm assuming he's from somewhere down in the bayou with the way, his accent is. And so he fits right in there. But I think Ed Orgeron has shown that he can coach anywhere. And he has a wide, I guess, a very, very, deep black book of places connections that he has, coaches, players. So I think he would hit the line running. Now, whether he wants to get into it in the same energy, but if he's like associate head coach or something like that, and really helps with the D line, because you can have a bigger staff right now, I think you get the best, the bang for your buck.
It's funny that we bring up Ed Orgeron there, because kind of the flip side of that is Brian Kelly at LSU, right? Not a Southern guy at all. Even, say Joe Moorhead at Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the fit they were going for. Moorhead wasn't terrible, but you could tell there was some tension there. Brian Kelly also hasn't been bad at LSU.
But he hasn't been good.
But he hasn't been as good as they want.
Yeah.
And so when you come, you're a quote unquote outsider, you come down there, you kind of put on the show like Brian Kelly did with the really bad fake accent. You dance with the recruits that you end up losing eventually. If Brian Kelly had LSU in the playoffs twice, this wouldn't be a conversation. But because they've fallen short, haven't done what they needed to in the regular season, that's why we can have this conversation. And it's the outsider status. When he came in, they were already a little uneasy, and then now they can just point and say, "How we told you he wasn't a good enough fit."
Yeah, and well, did everybody want to get rid of Eddie Orgeron?
Not everybody.
Not everybody. So then you bring in this dude from Notre Dame, of all places,
Boston guy who's coaching at Notre Dame
down here. Okay, down in Baton Rouge is different. It is. So you bring him down here, and you already got the recruits or the talent.
They fall into your lap,
and you out here him-hawing around. And we just had a dude that fits our culture that eventually would have probably got it turned around or back. He won national championship. You had the number one pick in the draft. You had Jamar Chase. You had 3 of the top 10 guys drafted, plus the law firm that went to Kansas City in the first round. Yeah, Randy Moss. I mean, they just had Lionel Collins. You had this talent upon talent. It takes a little while to develop that type of next level talent, and then LSU didn't have enough patience. Now there was some off the field stuff with Ed Orgeron, which probably magnified their impulsive decision. I think Brian Kelly is a really good coach. That is a example of fit. A really good coach. Will the fit match? How has he fit into their culture? Not how they have fit Brian Kelly into theirs. This is Brian Kelly adjusting. He has to adjust, and it's not by the accent. It's how you do things, and you got to win. And probably it's one of those things he's done probably better than he's getting credit for. But then also he probably hasn't reached the expectation, which is I feel is emotionally based because it's revisionist history. Then hey, we had this dude. He's an internet sensation, Ed Orgeron. We could have dealt with that.
Well, 3 straight LSU coaches have won a national championship.
Right. But we could have dealt with that dude. He came in here and he's back against the wall. They got Joe Burrow. Obviously, Bill Bush helped recruit him. But he coached the number 1 pick. Now, whether you like it, whether you can make excuses or not, is no different than when I was listening. And this is another sport where you hear Stephen A. Smith and talking about, well, LeBron won a championship in the bubble. Okay, you mad at LeBron? Like, you hate him that much? You talking about he won championship in the bubble? Like, this is pure stupidity. So what, you're going to take away from COVID national championship? Well, then you would have been the same dude mad that you weren't playing. So now that he won a championship, so if somebody else won a championship in the bubble, you're saying LeBron couldn't even win a championship in the bubble. So he won a championship in the bubble. Now he's like, there's an asterisk, it don't mean anything. It's just so
works out pretty well for Stephen Smith that he can have it whatever way he wants.
Because he's the guy that gets the last laugh. And so, that's a perfect example of letting personal feelings get into business decisions. Now, granted, Stephen A. Smith is legendary, but LeBron is iconic. You've made money off LeBron, talking about LeBron. Now
he's been very good for your career.
He's been for everybody. And that's no different with Ed Ogeron. He's made a lot of guys a lot of money. And Brian Kelly has too. But that fit in that culture thing is really going to play out, because now that you have to be lock and step with the GM, the AD, with the revenue sharing, depending on what sport you play, that relationship between the powers of the be is going to be on display on the field more than ever, based on the landscape of college football, basketball, or sports. So with that being said, we're going to take a quick break, come back. We're going to have some special guests in, talk about the AFN golf tournament. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Oerman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
No cravings, no hunger pains, no struggle. Thanks to GLP-1s from Limitless Mail, weight loss is possible. Picture this. Your clothes fit better, your energy's up, your doctor's impressed, and your friends start noticing. Limitless Mail's GLP-1 program is medically monitored and changing men's lives. There's no better time than now to get on board. Lose the weight, better your health, gain your confidence without being hungry. Free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Need a tractor that works as hard as you do? Whether you're baling hay or feeding cattle, a John Deere 6M or 6R from Landmark Implement is built to handle it all. And right now, you can get 0% fixed rate financing for up to 72 months on new in-stock models. That's 6 years with zero interest on the tractor your operation depends on. Hurry into your local Landmark Implement or visit landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Oerman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, Old School. Quick segment here before we put a bow on this Monday. Like we said previously, we got some special guests in here from AFN. More importantly, my main man, Luke. Welcome again. Luke, you have a message for our listeners?
My name is Luke. I am 8 years old. Please don't let American. That's someone government. To see you there.
Awesome. Yeah, they're in for the golf tournament. Luke is the big spokesman or spokesperson. Came in last year with the drive with AD and Raph, and so we appreciate him giving it a big shout out to the tournament. Now we got another special guest. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Introduce yourself to our ticket listeners.
Well, my name is Matthew.
Yeah.
This is my wife, Laura.
Yeah.
We're helping organize the Action for Autism Golf Tournament to benefit the Autism Family Network. And we appreciate you guys having us and showing up last year.
Of course.
Yeah, we appreciate all the support.
Yeah, so Kathy Martinez was in a few weeks ago. And obviously, always comes in. And we always enjoy, having a team or two out there to support you guys. For our listeners, tell us the date, time, and location for the tournament and where they can sign up.
All right. Well, it is September 7th at Highlands Golf Course. It's a 4-person scramble, shotgun start at 1. There's dinner following and a raffle. And you can sign up at events.golfstatus.com. Just search for Action for Autism, and it'll pop up for you. You can register there. And if you don't want to play, but you want to donate some prizes, we'd love to have that too. So you're more than welcome to go to the same place, events.golfstatus.com, search Action for Autism, and you can do that there too.
Yeah, we had a great time last year, plenty of prizes, and it was a great day out there. And also the Highlands does a really good job putting on your tournament. It was jam-packed last year, but it was a great flow. So for the listeners out there, it's a great organization, AFN. Talk about how AFN has helped you guys, but then also everybody else that with autism.
Yeah, so they're a local nonprofit, and they support families with autism. 100% of their proceeds that they receive through events like the golf tournament go directly back to the community. So they help with things like support groups. They help with like social outings. They help with Project Lifesavers. So they have like tracking devices, since people with autism are more prone to like wandering or eloping. So those types of things with Autism Family Network, like we've been able to connect with and find people that are going through similar experiences. And they've just been really helpful for us and a lot of people in our community.
Yeah, for us specifically, they've connected us to swim lessons for Luke. I've heard before that drowning is the #1 cause of accidental death in children with autism. So having resources like that, because he can't go into a normal swim class with 10 other kids and listen, like he has to have one-on-one. So being able to get connected to those resources, having somebody can help us navigate the all of the medical needs and getting connected with help to get Luke the therapies he needs and things like that. And then just finding a community and having events that he can go to, so it's tough to take him to a movie because we don't know, maybe he wants to get up and jump, or he's going to be really loud. He gets super excited, and that's awesome. But the people next to you in a movie aren't going to understand that unless they're going through the same things that you are. So being able to go to those sorts of things with people who understand is really awesome.
Yeah, I think one of the things that not this last time Kathy was here, but before, she was talking about the AFN and the Lincoln Police Department. They did I guess I'll call it a seminar on how to so they can de-escalate and make sure that they're, I guess, more patient with potentially somebody with autism. I think that's pretty really forward thinking for AFN. And for you guys that, as young parents, I wanted to ask you guys, how important is it to have that support system? Obviously, being a parent is hard anyways, but then obviously to have a good support system and that can point you in the right direction to just alleviate that kind of anxiety to, get some of the answers that you potentially might need in the present or future.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's true. I feel very fortunate because we do have that on AFN. I don't think as many like all communities have what we have, and so we're very like lucky that we were able to join in this. Kathy and a whole team of people have initiated or continued to keep AFN going. It started in 2006, so it's been in the community for a while. But yeah, it's been great to have.
Yeah, you don't know, I think, what it is to go through some of these life challenges until you actually go through it. So to meet with people who have experienced the same things that you are, or who are forward thinking enough, like you mentioned, with training with LPD and that sort of stuff, to set those resources out there for other people is really awesome.
Yeah, I think it's obviously it's something that's, I think, as the knowledge of autism, how to not only help but assist not only the young kids or adults, but then also the family members as well. So appreciate you guys stopping in once again. Tell us, all our listeners, we're going to have a team or two. We're going to have a lot of fun and obviously lose a lot of golf balls. Once again, for our listeners, we have really good support last year. For our listeners, had a couple teams as well. So make sure that everybody's listening on Old School. Let them know where, when, and then how they can sign up.
Right. So it is Sunday, September 7th at Highlands Golf Course. It's a 4-person scramble. There's a shotgun start at 1 p.m. and a dinner following. And you can sign up at events.golfstatus.com and search for Action for Autism. We're also still looking for people who are interested in sponsoring, and any donations people would be willing to provide. So if anyone wants to reach out to us at Autism Family Network Lincoln at gmail.com, that'd be wonderful too.
Yeah, we'll make sure we'll put it out on our social media. And if we can get you guys in one more time before September 7th or the week of September 7th after Labor Day. So appreciate you guys stopping in. Once again, Old School AFN Golf Tournament coming up September 7th, Highlands. We will be out there representing the ticket. Appreciate you guys stopping in.
Thank you so much.
That puts a bow on this Monday for Old School. Jay Foreman, Austin Oerman, AFN. We'll holler at you tomorrow.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to